the store down on the corner block. I don't even notice all these plastic dishes. You know I'ma handle my own business. I'm a boss, boss, boss. Baby, I'm a boss, boss, boss. Calling all the shots, shots, shots. Baby, I'm a boss, boss. You know I'm a baller. I keep the mansion running even when the power's not. I make it here with all them pennies and them dimes I got. Cause every day and every night, you know that I'm living large. But I'm on a diet and I'm trying not to eat the carbs. Gonna get a pimped out two-door Honda Civic. You know how I handle my business. I'm a boss, boss, boss. Baby, I'm a boss, boss, boss. Calling all the shots, shots, shots. Baby, I'm a boss, boss. You know I'm a baller. I don't ask permission, I only ask forgiveness. You know I'ma handle my own business. Hey. Hey, I'm a boss, boss, boss. Baby, I'm a boss, boss, boss. Calling all the shots, shots, shots. Baby, I'm a boss, boss. You know I'm a boss. I'm a boss, boss, boss. Baby, I'm a boss, boss, boss. Calling all the shots, shots, shots. Baby, I'm a boss, boss. You know I'm a baller.
I'm gonna get it cause I can. I'm gonna do it cause I want to. You're gonna pull up in the Benz. I'm gonna live for the fortune. I'm gonna get it cause I can. I'm gonna do it cause I want to. You're gonna pull up in the Benz. You're gonna live for the fortune. This life, that life, so much for my next life. This life, that life, so much for my next life. This life, that life, so much for my next life. This life, that life, so much for my next life.
Cause I can. I'm gonna love cause I want to. Yeah, I know, pull up in the Benz. I'm gonna love for the fortune. I'm gonna get it cause I can, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna do it cause I want to. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up in the Benz. Yeah, I'm gonna love for the fortune. This life, that life, so much for my next life. This life, that life, so much for my next life. This life, that life, so much for my next life. This life, that life, so much for my next life. Baby, if my eyes close or start falling. Baby, if
last forever, and I seen it, that's the truth. I know God will never leave me, that's why everything is new. It's just me, they recommend I'm not me, but I feel still. Make it last, I ain't gon' lie. And I tap my face and on top of the world, looking at them with a smile. Everybody got a run up with the silver. Till I tell them bye-bye. They ain't tryna see me fly.
I fell for tonight, it's for you.
Filling out my cup, coffee talk on the screen porch. So in love, now you're the one I'm losing sleep for. And I hope the wrong one slip right through your magic fingers. And I hope we find some way to fall in love like we were. Yeah, you're the only reason I was California dreaming in the first place.
Seeing you in
Sundress seasons got me all up in my feelings for the old days, old days. I've got the summertime blues, thinking about you and me in the way that it used to be. I've got the summertime blues, hoping that you might be still holding on to me. I still do think about you in the morning when I'm waking up. Laying in this bed without you's got me lonely and missing your touch. Yeah, you're the only reason I was California dreaming in the first place.
Seeing you in
Sundress seasons got me all up in my feelings for the all days, all days. I've got the summertime blues, thinking about you and me and the way that it used to be. Hey, I've got the summertime blues, hoping that you might be still holding on to me.
I still do think about you late at night when the sun's going down. Laying in this bed without you. I'll head out and buy a ring. Hey, do you like my handcuffs, darling? I threw the key away. Hey, do you like my jumpsuit, honey? I wear it every day. She said, tell me what you're in for. You know that I'm a prisoner of your love. And even if I had wings, I'd never even try to fly from your love. Say you come visit often. When the sky outside these bars is all gray. Hey, do you like my handcuffs, darling? I threw the key away. Hey, do you like my jumpsuit, honey? I wear it every day. She said, tell me what you're in for. You know that I'm a prisoner of your love. And even if I had wings, I'd never even try to fly from your love. Don't you know I'm a prisoner? Don't you know I'm a prisoner? Don't you know I'm a prisoner?
ASL 시즌 10 타임리스. 핫식스 아프리카 TV 콜로세움 라이브 ASL에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Live? Oh my God, we're back. We're back, everybody. For those of you that were with us for GSL earlier, it's good to be here now on ASL. We are going to start with the pre-show interviewing our players, and then we'll be hopping into our matches. All best of ones today. Hyungun is recapping the last group. We had some big upsets. And she's talking about how hard this season is to predict. So who will make it out of Group B? Let's find out. Let's say hi to our players. Hello.
그리고 최우선 선수 나와주셨습니다. 자, 가장 먼저 장윤철 선수와 인사를 좀 나눠보고 싶은데요. 아무래도 ASTL 팀 리그에서 보여줬던 장윤철 선수의
First of all, a question for Snow.
이번 시즌
You look like an invincible player
in
in the ASTL.
오늘 경기 앞두고 계신 컨디션은 좀 어떠신가요?
Some high expectations for you. Don't make me laugh, Artos. I'm trying to do this. So I'm feeling my condition is really good. The only thing I'm worried about is actually the last map, I guess in this group. I don't know if I could play that well on that map, so that's my main concern. What worries you about the last map in this group? I would say the win rate for Protoss on that map is probably only 20 to 30%. So the only way I can get out of this group is to win 2 games immediately in advance. So there's many pro gamers that are talking, or they're watching, and fans watching, curious about how confident you're going to be going into this. Bisu was the first victim of overconfidence in the ASL.
말을 아끼시는 것 같은데 좀 어떻게 예상하고 계시는지 살짝 들려주실 수 있을까요?
How do you predict your games today?
그걸 그냥 넘겼었거든요. 근데 이게 막상 그렇게 돼 버리니까
I don't know how much it matters.
예측 안 하겠습니다. 예측하면 안 될 것 같아요.
But now that Bisu was confident and then failed, I don't want to make any bold predictions today.
네.
그것만 딱 예측을 하시는 건가요?
예측은 안 하겠습니다.
So the only thing you want to predict is a 2-0?
굉장히
Hey, I'm not predicting anything. No predictions for today's interview.
옆에 계신 윤진규 선수와도 인사를 나눠보겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
Let's talk to you, Yoon. Hello.
이 자리가 굉장히 좀 꿈만 같으실 것 같은데 2020 ACS 시즌2에서 우승을 차지하시고 또 예선전에서
So it must be really exciting for you to play on a big stage such as this. You've already won the 2020 ACS, and now you're here in the ASL. You've been in many online tournaments, but what's it like to be at a live major stage event like ASL? Are you nervous also? I think if I said I wasn't nervous, I'd be lying. But I've got a mindset to try to enjoy this experience and embrace it. So did you prep much? He says, yes, I did. There's no guarantee I can make it to the round of 16, but like I said, I'm just going to try my best to bring some great games here today. So I imagine many fans of only the ASL might not be that familiar with you. Do you want to introduce yourself?
컨트롤이 좋은 저그. 이 얘기로 오늘 경기가 굉장히 재밌었을 것
I would say I'm a player that's got some great micro, great control.
인사를 나눠볼까요? 안녕하세요.
Let's go to Sulky.
김민철 선수 오히려
Hello, Sulky.
반대로 ASL을 보시는 분들이라면 모두 다 아실 만한 또 선수가 될 것 같은데요. 시즌 2부터 꾸준히 본선에 진출해서 이번
So everybody's known about Sulky, especially since ASL Season 2.
좀 느낌이 좀 다른 부분이 있나요?
This is also your 9th season. How are you feeling today?
매번 떨어지더라고요. 그래서 오늘 좀 마음 편하게 하자 이 생각밖에 없는 것 같아요.
I think honestly, I'm always confident at the start of these seasons. I'm feeling good. Even against opponents I don't have that much experience against.
16강 진출 가능할까 좀 이런 불안한 마음을 보고 지켜보고 계시는 분들도 있어요. 이 부분에 대해서는 좀 어떻게
So many fans have been worried that you might not be able to make it to the round of 16. You've been somewhat inconsistent lately. How do you respond to that? Yeah, sure, I know I've been unstable before. But I would say my current condition is good.
네, 알겠습니다. 최원 선수
I prepped hard. I'm looking forward to it.
안녕하세요. 네, 팀 리그 때 뵈고 이렇게
Let's go to Sok.
ASL에서
Hello, Sok.
굉장히 오랜만에 인사를 드리게 된 것 같아요. 지금 기분이
She
어떠세요?
participated in the ASL Team League.
좀 오랜만에
How are you feeling today?
세 시즌 만에 오는 것 같은데 그래도 좀 긴장도 되고
Yep.
좀
I
새로운
think
것
I'm
같아요.
back to ASL.
그래도 24강을
I'm a little bit nervous.
선수는 마음이 좀 편할 수도 있을 것 같다라는
I think it's
생각이 드는데요.
the feeling for me is quite different than the ASTL
24강에
league.
진출하면 16강은 100% 진출한다. 이런 굉장히 기분 좋은 기록을 또 보유하고 계시더라고요.
But you always make it to the round of 16 100% of the time.
아프리카에서 그냥 24강에 만족하라는
Is that so?
오.
그래가지고 좀 마음 편하게
Yeah, but when I look at my
아무래도
groups,
네 분께 조편성에 대한 생각을 좀 여쭤보고
it always feels like this is a group that's going to make me stay in the round of 24 and not
어떤
advance.
생각이 드셨길래 좀 우려를 많이 하시는
Oh, I was
건가요?
going to ask you, what was going through your mind when you were looking at your group
윤철이랑 민철이가
as it was announced?
좀 테란전에 특화돼 있도록 좀 잘해.
All these players are great, especially Snow and Sulky. I think are both very strong against Terrans, so that's going to be tough for me.
열심히 해야죠 좀.
네.
I'm a little bit worried I might get eliminated.
정말 노련한 김민철 선수와 또
Anyways, he says he's just going to do his
또
best.
같은 조에서 경기를 하게 됐는데요. 조에 대한 생각 좀 어떠세요?
아 사실 처음 조가
What do you think about your group, Yoon?
절망을 많이 했었고요.
So when I look at my group, I was pretty devastated to be frank. I think it's going to be very tough no matter which way the games go for me today. So,
아세 분 다 되게 잘하셔서.
네.
Sulky and Snow in your group?
그럼 본인이 16강에
Actually, I guess I should say all the other players.
생각하고 계세요?
Makes it feel
아 제가 사실
it must be tough for you. What is the percentage chance you think you're going to advance?
오늘 윤진기 올라갈 확률이 몇 %냐. 근데
So I was reading a lot of community sites, a lot of fan sites,
지금 깨라고 있는 거니까.
and actually they said it's 0%.
윤진규 선수에게 됐을 것 같다는 생각이 듭니다. 장윤철 선수.
So he's hoping to break that record and dispel those
굉장히 두려워하고 있습니다.
beliefs.
근데 또 어떤 팬분들은 비조가 은근히 죽음의 조다. 누가 진출할지 사실 잘 모르겠다라고 얘기하는 분들도 계시더라고요.
A lot of people are saying it's very hard to predict who will be advancing. Would you like to make any?
속마음은 자기가 올라간다는 생각일 거예요.
Sorry, how do you approach this? Will you advance?
꼭 자기가 올라갈 것 같으면서 저렇게 연막.
I think Sak is saying he's weak, but he's always underselling himself.
맞나요? 아니라고 고개를.
Whenever he does that, he also always advances.
조를 처음 봤을 때 쉽지 않다고 생각.
So, anyways, when I look at my group,
오늘도
it's certainly not an easy group.
50%라고 봐요.
반반이다.
I think objectively it's 50-50. It's hard to say.
잠깐 나눠봤을 때는 좀 마음을 비우고 편하게 하겠다고 얘기를
All right,
하셨지만
Sulky.
조를 딱 봤을 때는 또 어떤 느낌이 드셨는지도 궁금해요.
You said you're going to go into the game with a comfortable mind. What was going through your mind when you were looking at this group here? So, since I've lost plenty of games against Snow in the past,
그럼 본인이
I think it's a
진출할
tough group.
확률에 대해서는 뭐 장윤철 선수는 반반이라고 말씀을 하셨는데 김민철 선수는
it's one reason why I'm just trying to focus on playing my best. So, Snow says it's 50-50. What do you say?
경기가 굉장히 쉽지 않을 것 같다라고
I would agree. I think it's
하고 계신
50-50.
것 같은데요. 팬분들이 네 분께 어떤
I guess all four of our players
질문을 좀
have
전달해
confirmed this is a tough group for them. We also have several questions submitted from fans who watch the show. So,
이번에는 자만 없는 장윤철 선수.
I think many fans in the past are worried that you were eliminated in the past, Snow. Is it possible to see Snow not be overconfident?
정말 잘한다 생각하고 1경기를 제일 많이 준비했어요, 저도.
네.
Yeah, even when we have amateur players, I try to take them very seriously.
또 이번 시즌은 다전제 가면은
I think you need to respect all the players you're playing against.
절대 안 질 것 같다.
네, 그래서 일단 무조건 8강까지는 꼭 가보고 싶어요.
I should not be losing my focus at any point in time here. I have a mindset no matter what, I have to get out in advance.
흔들리는 걸 제가 좀 봤는데요. 윤진규 선수에게도 질문을 드리겠습니다. 내가 비록 오프라인 ASL 무대 경험을
All right, Yoon, a question from the fans to you.
이 부분만큼은 절대 지지 않는다라는 부분이 있다면 어떤 부분이 있는지
So,
궁금해하시거든요.
by comparison, you're much less experienced in offline tournaments. Is there some skill that you have, though, coming to this with a disadvantage that you have an advantage over these players in some different way? Like I said earlier, I think my control is very good.
최적화된 빌드를 오늘도 좀 준비를 해오셨나요?
So I'm hoping from there I can just try to find a way to make it out of the group.
노 코멘트 하겠습니다.
Any specific strategy?
가장 많이 준비해 오시지 않았을까 하는 생각이 저도 좀 드는데요.
Oriented around your micro?
김민철 선수에게 좀 남겨진
He says I'm not going to
질문입니다.
mention anything.
항상 간절함을 가지는 시즌일 때 오히려
Okay,
어떤
Sulky.
점에서 아쉽게 나왔던 김민철 선수인데요. 이번 시즌 좀 특별한 각오가
Seems like when
있다면
you're
어떤
in
각오가
a
있는지
desperate
궁금하십니다.
situation, you're more likely to pull through with some impressive results. Do you have any special motivations for your matches today? Yeah, I think that's fair to say. If I'm feeling confident and cocky, I tend to get eliminated. That's why, as I said before, I'm going to try to empty my mind and just go into the game, focus on doing what I practiced.
최우선 선수에게 마지막 질문 드리겠습니다. 마이크를 좀 받아주시고요.
Sak, one more question for you.
지난 A조 경기에서 절친 김태경
So,
선수가 먼저 떨어졌는데 지켜보고
last
있을
match
김태경 선수에게
in Group
한마디
A.
전해달라고 짓궂은 질문이 또 이렇게 올라왔네요.
Excuse me, Bisu's probably watching these games today. Any words you want to say to him?
요즘 방송하는 게 더 행복해 보이더라고요. 그냥 떨어지고 나서.
I expected that he was going to get eliminated in Group A.
좀 포기하고 보라판에 남았으면 좋겠어요.
본인을 좀 응원해달라고도 한마디 해주시죠.
아,
He says he just hopes
네.
he can enjoy his life.
아, 저는 연습을 도와줬는데 연습을 도와달라고 하니까 술 먹고 있더라고요. 그래가지고.
They're talking about supporting him as a good
응원
friend.
안 해줄 것 같은 느낌인가요?
네, 응원은 별로.
Yes, I did help him prep for ASL.
네, 알겠습니다. 네 분 모두 오늘 최고의 경기력 기대하겠습니다.
Then I asked him to help me with my matches, but he was drunk that night, so he couldn't do it.
자, 이렇게 경기를 앞두고
All right, that does it for the interview.
이야기 나눠봤습니다.
It's time already.
All
Time to start the games.
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
Okay. I know we don't normally have ASL on at this time. Our schedule's been a little bit hectic here, guys. But we have ASL again tomorrow.
ASL 시즌 10 타임.
So yeah, you've got a lot of time with us. We're off on Monday. I'll be streaming. I'm sure you'll be streaming to Artosis.
Always.
And then we'll be back on Tuesday. So a lot of ASL in a row here. You 3 ASL days in 4 days.
Yeah. Well, that's how it should be, really.
How low is my chair here?
That's
Cass,
just
I'm
how
just
tall you
slowly
are.
shrinking. I'm just this little beta guy down here.
Poor
Artosis.
little dude.
I'm like trying to shoot the basketball. I'm down here like this trying to dunk, but you're just knocking the ball out of my hands.
Yeah.
All right. Chair is raised.
Okay.
Alpha Tasteless is back. Today, this is a tough group to call. I think the fact that it's a best of 1 makes it even harder.
Yeah. It's actually, I think all 4 players have a reasonable shot to get out.
I agree.
I think that specifically some of the matches we have here are very, very interesting. Like, Sok, for instance, is a very technical Terran, which is going to make it very weird for these 2 players he's against. Yoon and Sulky play very different styles of Zerg overall, generally, although Sulky has a pretty full range. What he generally chooses to do is a bit different. And then you got Snow, who, in my opinion, is the favorite of the whole season. I think that
I am
this
in
season,
agreement with this.
Yeah, so we don't have Rain, who's the best PvP, or Bisu, who got knocked out because his PvP is also like next level.
Right.
And Flash is not playing Terran. So you put those 3 things together, I think that those are the 3 biggest roadblocks to Snow. Like when he's been to finals multiple times in StarLeagues, and it's Rain and Flash have knocked him out. Bisu just got back, but we know his PvP has always been magnificent. So, like, his 3 main rivals aren't here.
And Snow is a player who is doing stuff with Protoss that is, like, never before seen. He's so cutting edge. He's so strong. And I think you're completely right. I mean, the players that could eliminate him are either not here or they're playing random.
Yeah. So I think that puts him into a good spot. But that being said, this round of 24 group has the best chance, in my opinion, of getting rid of Snow. I think the round of 16, if he makes it there, he will get out 100%. I don't know or care who will be in that group, but I look at the lineup of players, and I think because you have to get eliminated on a best of 3, he will be going through to the round of 8 almost no matter what. But this group, best of 1s, it really kind of is the group of death, okay? I know a lot of people don't know who Yoon is, but Yoon is extremely strong. He's had amazing matches against Flash. He won the ACS over my boy Scan in the finals last month. He's a killer. He is a killer Zerg. And then you got Sulky, who's a champion of KSL. Of course, I mean, everyone knows Sulky. And then again, Sok, who is the type of Terran that can give Snow a hard time because he's a technical player. He's not a macro player. He's not an overly aggro player. He's a player that comes with well-thought-out strategies and builds. So I think that this is the chance for the tournament to put itself on its head by getting rid of Snow.
And Snow is saying if he has to go to the final map, he probably won't advance. So
That was interesting because the final map is polypoid.
yeah, I was a little bit
guess
confused.
he just doesn't like it.
I'm not sure
He was
what.
saying his win rate there is very low.
Well, it would seem that on paper, just for pretty basic StarCraft theory, that should be a map you can be fine on. Maybe PvZ, there's something.
Yeah,
he
I could
knows that
see
we
it being
don't.
very hard PvZ, but if he plays SOC there, I think he'll be all right.
I think so.
I think PvT, it's really fine.
But let's see. It does seem like PvZ is going to have to go well for Snow today.
Yeah.
Basically, no matter what.
Well, I think that the first map that we're going to be going on to is actually a really interesting one to see how Snow's going to deal with it.
Yeah.
Ringing Bloom. It's a map that, well, we'll talk more about that as we get to it, which I guess is coming now. So Ringing Bloom, this first map, you've got that back natural, and your main is on a high ground. So it seems like that perfect music.
Yeah, what is this mischievous Protoss making a pylon in my main music?
Yeah. Dude, Snow is so
One
good.
gate on 9.
You know, I really...
Another gate on 9.
Not only is Snow super strong as a player,
Yeah.
he's becoming, I feel like at least, one of the big content creators in Korea for StarCraft. He's really busy with a lot of great interviews and stuff that Jinjin has been translating. And just a lot of great side content on top of just playing. So I actually want to see Snow win ASL, to be perfectly honest. I know I'm a Terran player and all, but like, I think Snow deserves a championship at this point. He's so good.
He looks so strong. And again, he just really seems to have a different approach.
윤진규.
We're going to go to Yoon now. This is a song called Four Zerglings, it says in Korean. I never heard this song before. I feel like we should have been aware of this.
Well,
If there's anything StarCraft related for how much time we put into this game, but I guess
I know, right? Well,
there's
a
always
lot out
something
there.
new in life, Artosis.
True. Now, Yoon, I mean, he's really strong, guys. As he said, his micro is very good. He's very much a two-hatch Muta player in ZVT. I know his ZVT rather well because I've actually played him several times, but yeah, don't worry, he beat me every single game. No worries there. He's really good. I'm excited to see how he's going to play against Snow on this first map. Because I think the map itself is... I haven't actually seen any PvZs on Ringing Bloom yet.
Yeah, I do feel like this can be a little bit tricky for Protoss, as early game is always a little bit frustrating. And on a new map, let's see how Snow opens up. Our game's ready, guys. Game 1, best of 1, Snow vs. Yoon starts now.
링잉 블룸에서 게임을 시작합니다.
Okay, so we have Snow in the upper left and Yoon in the bottom left. And yeah, let's see what kind of opener we're going to have here. I mean, I think as we all know, PvZ is generally centered around fast expanding, and it's going to be no exception on this map, especially with you getting a free base in the back.
Yeah, I don't know what the walls look like.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
But I'm sure Snow does. Obviously, that's going to be the main thing you have to prep. But just the fact that you're up a ramp on your wall, I think basically rules out Hydra busts.
I agree. I think that it would be one of the least optimal strats ever to try a Hydra bust. But the thing is, sometimes that means that you can try a Hydra bust because they might undermake cannons. I probably won't happen against Snow, but
yeah,
let's see. Let's see here.
Well, as far as that goes, if you can rule out Hydra bust, I think that automatically starts to favor Protoss, right?
Well, it makes it
like
easier,
the
right?
most dangerous thing, basically, for their early
Sure.
game.
I mean, the quickest way to lose a game is to just not quite have enough cannons.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And the speed at which Hydras can get there and do damage is really, really, really scary. So, I mean, there are other all-ins like Ling all-ins or Mute all-ins, but they're much easier to handle if you know a Hydra Bust isn't coming. Does it favor the Protoss? I don't know. I mean, it at least allows them to breathe. You know, it allows them to kind of get where they need to be. The other thing we want to watch for on maps like this is where can Zerg expand and turtle? Because I do think on this map there's not as many turtleable spots really for Zerg.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Where, like,
yeah,
you know,
I don't disagree.
a map like Fighting Spirit, like every spot's actually pretty good for Zerg. Like once they get it and there's lurkers there, it's like, well, you just never, you can't get up there.
Oh, absolutely,
you know?
yeah. No, that's one of the many reasons Fighting Spirit's a terrible map.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's one of the reasons why I like the 2-gate on that map. Or go
yeah.
gas, where it's like, let's just make this a little bit weirder.
Yeah.
Because if I let you just get the 3rd up, then you're going to find a 4th, and you know,
it's coming. But yeah, as far as this game goes, here's my question.
Yeah.
Because I know that Snow, particularly, you know, he's known as basically the greatest Reaver user of all time. On a map like this, would Corsair Reaver make some sense to try that out?
You mean like the old Corsair Reaver where they masked that up
Reaver,
and then,
yeah.
you know, Corsair Reaver in general doesn't seem to be as popular. You mean like 2-star
It's
gates?
definitely not. No.
I feel like there's not much on this map that would make it very good for Corsair Reaver. Corsair
Well,
Reaver
I was
is
thinking about like the back natural and the fact that you're basically not worried about Hydra counters of any type.
That's true. The problem, and look, I mean, if he does it, I'm super excited because I'd love to see that. But from what I gather about this matchup, it does seem like it's less about the Protoss being killed right away with Corsair Reaver and more the fact that you can't always actually control the Zerg as much as you think you can with Corsair Reaver now. People are really good. As an example, if you get Burrow, you'll just kill the Reaver.
Yeah.
And then, you know, what are we doing then? If it's going to be just that pure mass style, there is getting a bunch of Corsairs, getting a speed shuttle with a Reaver, and maybe teching into Zealots. That could be not bad.
Yeah. Well, I guess when I say Corsair Reaver, I don't mean like stuck on that all game, but as an opener.
Because that was a pretty trendy thing a long time ago.
Yeah, no one really does that anymore. We have seen Snow do a little bit of Corsair Reaver, like that really nice game against, I think it was actually against Sulky and Whiteout. Remember that game? That was one of the best PVZs, man. For last year, that was my favorite PVZ by far.
Yeah, where you get the shuttle out, you're moving through pretty quickly. As long you're just keeping an eye on whether or not they're making air units. And if they're not, then you have a really strong ground army that's hard for them to deal with. Yeah, we might have that, but I don't know if he is going to do it. I don't know if it's because of this map.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. It might be good to just go for anyways. I mean, I think we're already starting to see a lot of the ideas we talked about here where you're probably not going to Hydra Bust. You can get a cannon up there. You're probably fine.
Yeah.
I'm curious from a Zerg perspective what they really want to do on this map. It seems like a map where you might want to try to go for like the 6-hatch Hydra, maybe get mutas and try to snipe.
Oh.
I mean, it seems like you want to go for a fight and you don't want to go turtle up too much because there doesn't seem to be a lot of spots where you can just sit there and they can't attack you. Like one of these, like, 12, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock spots on Fighting Spirit where you just can't get in there, as an example. Those are like super turtled spots in a ZVP. I don't feel like you have a lot of those here.
Yeah, I guess you got the bridges going over to 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So maybe that's like where we're going to see Yoon take his 4th base. Yeah, he's sending a drone there right now. So, but maybe he's not. Maybe okay, he's just throwing
but what I'm saying is like there's not a whole bunch of spots you can just seize, and then they're not going to break it. Yeah. So maybe it's actually better to try to go for like a battle Zerg style, where you're trying to just keep them on 2 bases. You're trying to keep Templar counts down. Again, you know, Sulky is such a phenomenal player that has occasionally been incredibly inconsistent.
Yeah.
Where, like, sometimes he actually just crushes, even if he screws up the early game, and then there's other times he just gets flushed out right away.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I hope we do see Sulky versus Snow tonight. That would be great. All right, Yoon right now, I mean, he's gone up to 4 hatches. He's got the Hydralisk Den. Okay, there's the 5th hatch. Of course, they're just kind of scouting everything. I'm going to find that there is, in fact, no Spire, so probably can cancel any more Corsairs, right? Well, he's still getting +1.
I'm curious to see what, and he was talking about his control earlier here and how good he is with it, and I'm just wondering, like, what he thinks his best control actually is as far as Zerg goes. It's going to get him ahead of all these other players here.
Yeah, I think that Yoon is mostly known for his Zerg versus Terran, because he did have some very nice matches against Flash, if I'm recalling this correctly. And he's known for being a very good like 2-hatch player and stuff. I don't really follow his ZVP, right? So basically every game I've seen of Yoon, minus some games against Mighty from ACS, which was some ZVP action. But yeah, I've mostly just seen his ZVT, so I'm not sure like how he's going to bring that micro into this matchup, or if that's like one of the thoughts that he's looking for.
Okay, so this was a pretty good tactic. The DT is just run around.
Oh, no.
And there's actually no overlords here in the main. I don't know that there's going to be one hatching over here.
Well, this is not good news.
This is one of the easiest ways as a Zerg player where you're just really behind now.
3 drones already gone.
Yeah, and you don't get a lot of drones in StarCraft 1, guys.
Oh, man, it's getting worse.
Yeah, he's going to get plenty more kills here. He'll probably go up there and get that last worker. I guess not.
He's killed 5 drones, cost a ton of lost mining time. This is not good.
Yeah, and it's probably going to get a little bit worse here before this can be fixed. The drone is going to go down. Overlord speed finishes, which means this is the end of this moment here where the DT... Oh my gosh.
Is it the end, Tasis? Oh,
yes,
yeah,
it's the end.
It's the end.
There was like an Overlord hiding under all the Corsairs.
Yeah, I guess there was.
There.
I didn't see it either. Yeah. How does that even work?
Now we have a push coming out here. Now he rushed into the DTs, but these Zealots are going to have +1 attack and Zealot legs.
I don't think he's going to be able to get too much done here. This is great SimCity, and there are enough Hydras to hold this off.
Yeah, you just try to come out here and see what damage you can get. Maybe you can take out a few units on the outside or kill a drone, which we already saw there. And now we have Protoss powering up. This is, what, like 8 gateways?
He's going to 8 gate, yeah.
So he's going to power out here with 8 gates.
That's like the max you can do on 2 base, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So very heavy gateway play. I think it is hard for Snow to get a 3rd base down that's worthwhile too, so I like it.
But I think Yoon has approached this in such a way where like he's going to be probably okay taking a fight. But the game plan basically is to you're going to stay on 2 bases, the Zerg's going to be on 3. Protoss will eventually get a few extra minerals and organically grow into the 3rd base. And you're just trying to keep the Zerg tamed here and keep them respecting you. We don't have a Spire anywhere, correct?
No, no Spire.
Okay. Just don't see Lurker eggs either here, so.
No, he's pretty much on Hydra right now. Well, the Corsairs look like, oh my god, they're starting to really massacre some of these Overlords.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Yoon out on the map like this. You know, when the Zealots come in, suddenly the Hydras are prioritizing the Zealots and attacking that and not protecting the Overlords. And this is a great way to just have the Zerg supply plummet.
Am I watching Yoon get completely and drastically outplayed here?
Yes.
Because that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like
a movement like this.
It feels like Snow is dominating him in every single way.
So this is a technique that Bisu really made famous, but coming in there with the Zealots, taking a fight, but really what you did is you killed all the supply for Zerg. So all the minerals are going back into making Overlords. So you're not producing. The Protoss is producing off of 8 gateways. And as the Overlords hatch and you were not able to make more Hydras, you come in again and hit them again if you have enough. And that's what we're seeing here is the second swoop in. And some of these Hydras are actually going up, which means, again, Yoon is just going to get completely smashed here. If these Hydras, or these Zealots, excuse me, can run around, and he just got out of being supply block. Think about that.
Yeah, he's going to lose a bunch more Overlords, too. It's looking like Snow is truly dominating this game.
Yeah, this is honestly way more dominant than I even thought it was going to be. And I was pretty confident it was going to be a Snow win. So watch here. Overlords, he's so close to being supply blocked. There's actually more Zealots and Hydras here. I think this is GG. I might be wrong, but imagine that there's more coming out of the gates.
Yeah, I think he's not dead, but he will be.
Yeah, I think he's going to be.
Yeah, like what I'm saying is I don't think he's going to leave the game. He still has enough drones to remain in the game, basically. Okay, so I think this is dropping off a Dark Templar.
Yeah, this is always worthwhile.
He is just playing very well. Ridiculously well. Look at this.
You know, the thing about the DT2 is seeing it's not enough. You have to actually be there and be ready to stop it. And we already see how quickly a DT can kill drones. And look at this great escape. Oh. Is there an Overlord in the main? I don't even know, actually.
Oh, he's got speed, so yeah.
Okay.
Brings it over. But
He's at 61 supply still, Artosis.
This has been a bit of a butchering, yeah. Kind of crazy. Look how many Dragoons he has now. He has High Templars. Just a beautiful game from Snow, showing his level. I think that Yoon really incorrectly identified what was going on this game as well, though, I want to point out. Right? Because if Snow is on 8 gates, not even thinking about taking a third base, you should not be moving out with your Hydra so often.
Yeah, you got to stay back for a while here.
Yeah, let yourself kind of outscale him, you know?
I think this is going to be a storm drop here. Let's find out. I guess it's not. Is he going to unload? What am I seeing here? Okay.
It's a scouting shuttle.
Yeah. Thought I'd make you run. Maybe it's empty. I don't know.
It could be. It's possible. Oh, drops.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna
might not be a good investment here.
Oh boy.
Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I mean, this is so much damage being dealt here. I'm still curious about that shuttle that I guess is empty. I don't know.
You know, this is really kind of crazy because Yoon is literally the best amateur. He just won the ACS, which is the amateur, you know, Star League that we have out here, which no pros are allowed in. So he literally just won that, and he's pretty famous. Like, everyone that's good at StarCraft knows exactly who this guy is. And then he plays Snow, and Snow is just...
Yeah, no,
Yoon is making him eat spiders.
Yeah, Yoon is a chew toy in this game.
Yeah.
This is, like, he's getting dumpstered so bad, it's crazy to me.
Truly good play from Snow.
Yeah, well, Snow is just on a level that is just insane.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that this was not a very good example of where Yoon is at. I think the nerves might have gotten to him. I think Snow has basically played a perfect game thus far. And this is one way to close the game out, you know?
Well, Yoon is not going to be able to stay in this much longer.
No.
Nothing has worked for him this game.
Usually if you break this position, you've won the game because you've killed off the 3 hatches. So they're down to usually 2 to 3 more hatches, and that's it.
Look how patient Snow is, by the way.
Yeah, this is all you have to do.
He just sits there. He's like, yeah, that's fine. We'll get the
Well, one thing about this map is Zerg can't turtle the same way. I mean, we see this big kind of horseshoe shape of structures. It's supposed to hold them off. And okay, there it is. GG. Snow obliterates Yoon in that game.
Yeah. Wow. Well, showing his level and living up to the hype that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Definitely, this could be Snow's season. And the way he played that game, just beautiful. It didn't seem like Yoon was panicking or anything. He didn't play the greatest game, but, you know.
Well, I mean, if Snow gets inside your base with a DT, which you really can't let happen in PvZ, the Protoss is almost always going to try something like that. And it was kind of funny that he just went around the long end and walked into the main. And you know, from there, you are slowing down the growth so much of Zerg. And I think especially with the Zealot Corsair attack, that was the one where, you know, Yoon is rocked and all Snow has to do is finish the job, which he did.
All right. Snow with that first win goes to the winner's match. As he was saying, he really needs to get out of this group 2-0. And definitely, he looks primed to do so.
Yeah, looking very strong here. Guys, short break. We come back to ZVT Sulky versus Sack. Don't go away.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
싱그러운 청귤이 사이다를 더 청량하게. 새로움을 마시다.
실성 사이다.
성능을 대용량 배터리로 언제 어디서나 더 오래 즐기다. 72Wh 대용량 배터리, 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준, LG 울트라 기어. 듀얼 메모리, 듀얼 저장 장치. 고성능을 듀얼 업그레이드로 더 오랜 기간 즐기다.
킬 흐림님 힐 그렇지 나 힐 2점 쓰리끈 온다 잡아 바닥 바로
From the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
상큼한 복숭아가 사이다를 더 청량하게. 새로움을 마시다.
실성 사이다.
라면이요.
자 이게
나왔습니다.
잠깐만 들어주세요. 빨리 나와요 이거.
음료 나왔습니다.
From the beginning.
울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
ASL 시즌 10 타임리스.
What's up, everybody? We're back, and Artosis.
Yo.
I've been shot.
You've been shot.
They got me right in the heart. This is the dangers of live casting in esports. I've spilled an Americano on my shirt, and the show must go on.
All right, Charlie Brown, let's do it. Into our next one. Because you're both a ditz and you got brown all over you.
We saw this like a few moments before we went live. I went, oh.
Yeah. Like, how did you even do that?
Yeah.
You're drinking out of a straw. How did you even do that?
I take a little sip and then I gargle it.
Yeah.
And I try to spit it in the air and catch it in my mouth. It didn't work.
The human fountain.
Yeah.
All right, so we just had an amazing PVZ from Snow. He looks ridiculous.
I mean, as far as the game goes, it was like, okay.
Yeah,
but if you like watching Zergs get punished, if you like watching Zerg pain,
I like to see them in handcuffs being whipped.
I like that, yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Crawling on their knees, I love it.
Oh, my God.
Okay, we're going to go. We are going to go into our second best of one.
Yeah. So
what's the music? Ooh, 2 job. My favorite.
2 job.
That's the story of us today. We already did GSL. Now we're here doing ASL. Is it a song about us?
It must be.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's just such a perfect thing because there's just no S at the end of the word. It's just.
I know. That's why it's so good.
It's so
it's
Korean.
Not 2 jobs. It's 2
yeah,
job.
It's 2 job.
Yeah.
That's our new name.
2 job.
2 job. My favorite casting duo. 2 job. 2 job, 1 cast.
All right. So Sulky, of course. Let's see what this is.
Woo. This is not the music I play when I listen.
I think 2 job wins for the best song tonight out of 4.
2 job beats
this one.
Beats this one, and well, the other ones I don't even know.
Yeah.
Maybe Snows wins with the mischievous clown music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what was playing when the DT snuck in.
The music, Snow had music that plays when a mime is about to surprise somebody in a French film in black and white.
Okay, so about these players, right? Sulky, a KSL champion, a GSL champion, one of the most talented, strongest Zergs that we've had across both StarCrafts.
Yep.
At times, definitely the best Zerg in the world. Right now, no, not the best Zerg in the world, but still very strong. He went to military for a bit. Something about financial trouble with himself and his family allowed him to come out of the military and work again. So
he's been somewhat public about that.
Yeah,
I don't know the
he's been somewhat
details,
public.
but I guess for whatever reason,
he literally changes his ID when he streams to need money.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, here he is in ASL again. Well, I'll talk more about.
That's
soccer
enough,
now.
Artosis, you egomaniac. We got to start this game now.
ASL 시즌 10 게임 준비 완료.
Hear me crying.
링잉
That's what you get to see when you watch the end of my
게임을
stream
시작합니다.
sessions, man. Me just like, I don't know if I can get better at this game, guys. You guys know I do this for a living? Ringing Bloom. Ring. Bloom? Hello?
Yes.
Bloom here. Speaking.
Oh God. So every game we've had on this map so far has been these spawns, by the way. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, is this map bugged? Are we? Did they not set this up right where it's random? I'm starting to feel like if it happens one more time, I'm like, can I take out odds on this? Is there a website where I can bet on spawns and I just start to...
I tell you, no, it's real, man. I always spawn at the same spots on maps. It's crazy.
Well, here's the thing that happens to me is I always spawn
Polypoid, I only even know what the bottom right main looks like.
You know what happens to me is I always spawn in a different spot, but I think I've spawned in the same spot because of the way the minerals and gas are set up, and I make my gateway on the wrong side. Where I'm like, oh, great, I'm glad I'm playing a PvP where my Dragoons are pumping out of the very back corner of my base.
That's awesome. All right, let me talk for a moment about Sock, right? Because I think a lot of people watching may not know him or remember him or whatever it might be. So Sock was, of course, a pro gamer back in the old days. He was on SKT, if I recall correctly. But he's a very, I'm going to call him a technical Terran player. He's very smart. He comes up with really good builds. Like the modern 1-1-1 stuff, a lot of it was based off of stuff he was doing in TVC. He's someone who's more likely to open with tech than with macro. And so I think that makes him sometimes a very tough match, especially in a best of one, because you're really unsure what he's going to do. Probably the thing least likely against Zerg that he would do would just be SK Terran. Like, he's not likely to open with SK Terran. A 1-1-1, sure. Some sort of mech build, sure. Some sort of weird janky rush, sure.
Yeah, it's all alternative stuff compared to... And I mean, they're not... It's not the craziest stuff to play with, but yeah, he tends to not do the classic TVZ approach.
It's not going to look like you see Sharp playing or something like that, or Light. But we'll see what he has. We'll see what he has going on. As far as Sulky goes, it looks like a regular 2-hatch play. Here we have the full wall from Sock. So just kind of trying to deny vision of what's going on.
And he's going to go right into a factory here.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't... Well, actually, let me ask you, Artosis. Would you expect something like this? I thought he'd go for a very quick CC. You just always want to get that factory up and get a Vulture out, or what?
Okay, well, on this map, you don't want to go SK Terran anyways, but this fits... This is Sock's MO, right? Like, it might be a 1-on-1, it might be... I don't think it would be Wraiths, because I don't really think of him as a micro player. But it could be like a Goliath build type thing, too. Either way, for this particular map, I would expect any Terran to open with a factory. Because you don't want, like, either something a little bit risky, like a command center first, or a factory. I think are the two ways to do it. Now, the question is, will he go Starport or Goliath build from here? Because both are very doable.
Yeah, I think Goliath build would be really cool. But let's see, maybe it's going to be Starport.
So the fact that he walled makes me think it will be Starport, but we'll see. A lot of people wall with Goliath builds too. I personally don't like it as much.
Now, we were talking about in the previous game the fact that, like, you're not going to get Hydra busted ZVP here because there's probably a whole bunch of stuff Zerg also can't do to Terran here, right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we saw a perfect example of JYJ against Shine. Remember, Shine went for a 2-base Hydra attack? And we were talking about it where it's like, well, this could like on flat ground, he wouldn't break him. So why are we attacking up a hill doing this? It just made literally no sense.
Ooh, I like the spire put there.
Yeah, that's
cute.
very cool. He made a creep underneath that pulsating bloom, by the way, that ringing bloom even. So that way you can hide what you're doing. It is going to be 2-port. Okay, okay. That's interesting. So he's going expansion plus 2-port Wraith. Now, this is one of the beautiful things about a map like this, right? He has a wall, and the expansion's completely safe. Like, he can basically defend against Infinity Zerglings with 1 Marine, right? So he's able to do a very greedy build like this.
So if you're going for Wraiths into this, and you would not go for Valkyries here, right? That's not, is that a thing at all?
If your opponent goes Muta and stays Muta, you absolutely will go, or you can go Wraith Valkyrie. A lot of people will go, in a situation like this where they have an expansion, they'll go Wraith for a while into Bio. That's more normal. You'll never go Wraith into Goliath, though, just to make that clear.
So is there somebody that has an inherent edge in the air arms race? Because this one's a little bit different than a normal one where the Terran got a free extra gas right away.
Yeah, that helps him a lot.
It seems like Terrans can barely hang on against Zergs and keep up, getting gas even later than this. So does this allow some kind of an edge here for Sock in this position?
Well, it's better than a lot of Wraith builds that you see. A lot of people use Wraith builds on maps that are like kind of super duper hard to do anything on against Mutas. But in this case, he does have that second gas, so he's going to be very comfortable. But Mutas are better than Wraiths. They're just better in every single way.
Mutas are so much tougher than Wraiths. I mean, Wraiths are, they've been called in Korea before paper airplanes.
Yeah.
Because they just, I mean, when they start to take damage, they disappear.
They're incredibly fragile.
Yeah. It's why they, when the game was designed, they came with Cloak, but, you know, at levels like this, you're not going to be struggling that much against Cloaked Wraiths.
Yeah, a player like Sulky should be able to deal with the fact that they're cloaked reasonably well. But yeah, if they ever actually fight head-to-head, the Mutas just completely demolish them. So he's going to fly in and find that it is, in fact, 2-port Wraith. He's taking a bit of damage, so, I mean, this is good for Sock right now.
Oh, my God. Clutch Cloak there, right when he tried to assassinate one. And this is a huge...
That's big.
Upswing right now for Sock. I mean, he just killed off, I think, all but one of the Mutalisks.
There's a really important point that he only showed 1 Wraith earlier. And as I said, Sock is kind of known for 1-1-1s, which involve 1 Wraith into a Science Vessel rush. Right. Oftentimes a Science Vessel rush, occasionally Valkyrie. That's what Sulky was looking for. That's why he flew in with Mutas to tank turret hits and 2 Scourge to assassinate any vessels or a Valkyrie. Instead, there were Wraiths there, so he got like mega punished. But the game is not over. So, because Sulky's taking the 3rd base already, and there's no way to actually like kill him or anything.
Yeah, now Wraiths can actually be exploited as far as their micro goes the same way that Mutas can be. So this movement you've seen with any good Zerg player where they dart in and it fires and they pull away again. Wraiths can do that too, but again, they are very, very brittle units when damage starts to come in here.
Yeah, and they don't really do damage to ground.
Right.
Their ground damage is super, super weak, and that's why you see a Spore at each location. Like, Spores destroy Wraiths. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, we do see that he's going into just regular bio play with that Academy, with the extra barracks as well, which is very normal. And then also we saw an Armory and a second add-on. So he's going to throw in a couple Valkyries to just kind of push Mutas back. But I think that Sulky won't stay on Mutas. He really should be teching up.
I love the Queens.
You know what? He might stay on Mutas for a while longer than if you're going to see Queens.
I think he's going to booger these Wraiths, Sartosis.
He's absolutely going to.
We're going to see a...
And Snare will detect them. Oh, he actually scanned the Queens. That's huge.
He saw that Queen picking the nose, getting the booger ready. Not today.
Oh my gosh. That was such a big scan. That's so important to see those.
Yeah.
Because if the Queens catch you off guard, you're in a lot of trouble then.
I like this one Marine here.
Yeah, he banked this on purpose so he could run up and kill a drone or two when Sulky was out of position.
All right, so the Marines cleaned up. Terran is now developing a pretty strong ground army here. Is he going to try to come out and catch something with those Wraiths now?
Well, what he'll do is keep the flying units around with the bio, because while the mutas will beat straight up the Wraiths very easily, especially with these queens, the bio adds a lot of damage to that, so it's not anywhere near as easy.
Okay, we have the Wraiths coming out now. Again, you got to be careful.
He doesn't know exactly where the queens are right now.
Yeah, and this is a skill shot moment where you really have to catch them wherever they are. You know, obviously you can't click on a unit you can't see, but if you can get the ensnare off, the Wraiths are going to die. But these Wraiths are now covered by infantry. Now, there's a move over here, and this is probably the most pivotal part of the game that we've gotten to now, is there's going to be... Oh, there it is!
Yeah, that's a very good ensnare to start. The mutas jump on top of him for a minute, but of course with those Marines there, you can't really fight so easily. All right, he's trying to get a sunk right now. Kind of tough. Okay, the ensnare goes down again on Marines, so that is going to slow him down quite a bit. Slows down the firing rate of Marines as well, so very helpful. The Wraith's fighting alone right now, so maybe a bit of miscontrol from Sock.
Whenever I see stuff like this, I'm confused why ensnare is not used in every game against Terran.
It's
very
so
good. It just looks so strong.
Yeah, it's very good. It basically undoes stim.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but you can't really micro Marines that well anymore.
You can't micro them at all.
Yeah, they're just so slow.
Oh, it's definitely a good spell. There's no question.
And most of the Wraith count has basically been reset.
Yeah,
and
I don't make any more either.
Yeah, and I don't think that there's any way to really get up here now. But we are switching into this full-on SK Terran style. The Science Vessels with a Radiate, comboed with the Medic Marine on the ground. It's very, very strong.
Yeah, and there should be an Ultralisk Cavern on the way, I think.
I believe.
Oh, okay. Actually, we see a Defiler Mound. That's kind of interesting. It's
cool.
not what I was expecting. I haven't seen the Hydralisk Den, though.
So this is where the stakes are going to get even higher here. We're going to have 2 dropships pick up the majority of this army, and then he's going to try to, I think, just drop them all in the upper right main unless he splits them, right?
He'll drop them in the same spot almost 100%.
Okay.
You don't really want to split those. But look, there's already Wraiths, Scourge around absolutely everywhere. Okay, he's trying to fly around. He did throw some scans down. The Mutas and Queens actually in the wrong spot.
Oh.
Yeah, look at how many Scourge he has. If you fly these into Scourge right now, that's almost game.
And don't forget, ensnare is an option here as well.
Oh my God, he actually
so
demeasures them, but no, there's too many Lings.
Yeah,
this is not going to work out like he wants.
He can't unload over here either.
No, this was not the move.
Yeah, we see more is unloading here, but this will be cleaned up. The Mutas can come in here, and I don't know if Terran can get much further along here. We'll see, but you're kind of doubling down on your position where you need to break them somewhere, and in this case, like losing the dropships and the Medic Marine, and it was just for a few Zerglings, not really worth it.
Yeah, and here's the problem with this as well, is he's already held another main, which means he gets its natural for free. Right, and we just saw the scan there. 4 gas is a death sentence in this situation.
Yeah.
Sock already tried twice to break Sulky. Both were completely denied. Sock is in a terrible spot right now.
Yeah, there's 2 Queens up here to ensnare as well. Okay, good irradiates there, but...
Oh, he double irradiated it.
Oh, yeah, that was a misplay for sure. He'll probably get an ensnare off over here before this. Oh! No, good save. Maybe Terran breaks this after all. Let's see.
Defiler coming out.
Never mind. Not in a million years.
Yeah. Well, that's held pretty easily. This is rough because he's already used up his dropship card. His upgrades are good. We got to give him that, right? He's got 2-1 already, so that's really nice. But it's going to be 4 gas shortly here. Plague is probably just about done, if not done. And there's an Ultralisk Cavern. So, like, you look at everything, it's not that high of a vessel count. He doesn't have any options to deal damage anywhere. And he doesn't have extra expansions. Not good stuff. He does actually add in Fire Bats here, though. So, without any Lurker play, he can actually just kill the Sunks.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit wasteful, Sulky was, with his Lings. I think he kind of didn't appreciate that you just need a few units here, and then you can actually pull through. And those Fire Bats did the job, and he's now breached the first line of defense. Now 3 Ultras barely pop out in time. And if he has another Dark Swarm here, he might be able to take out just enough Marines that maybe... Actually, I stand corrected here. Oh, no.
Yeah, no, he'll get rid of it. He'll clear it. And that is, like, honestly, that's just about we're very close to the final straw here for our Terran player.
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, it looked promising for a half a second there because he just utilized Darkstorm. He had enough fire bats to eat through the Lings. And Sulky played a kind of weird, greedy style where he went Defiler, but no Lurker, which isn't really a thing.
Yeah, he skipped one of the central tech units.
If you go Defiler, it's with Lurker generally.
Yeah, because the combo of the two, and you get spots you can't break. But he skipped it, had extra gas for more Ultras.
Yeah.
Now, the Mutas have gone by the drop ships, and I don't see anything here to defend. Oh, wow, great hit with a Scourge there.
Another nice snare goes down.
So dirty.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you can see, I mean, Marines ensnared are so much worse. Like Artosa said, they're basically like StarCraft before the expansion Marines, you know?
Yeah. Well, that he cleans it up even with his 0-0 mutas, no problem. Yeah, right now, the only thing Sock really has, well, he has two things going for him. His upgrades are good. His 3-2 should be done relatively soon here. And he's retained his vessels. Those are very, very important.
Did he just do Restoration?
Things. Yeah.
Damn.
Restoration's good. It's underrated.
2020, yeah. No, just as a person who, you know, was there from the very beginning, that was just not an ability people really got.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, medic energy's good and vessel energy's good too, and those are two things that weren't really used before.
Yeah, the game's come so far.
Yeah. Those are really worthwhile upgrades later in the game. But look, he's got a good vessel count, so as long as he keeps that up and keeps irradiating, there's some chance.
Okay, nice irradiate here on the Defiler.
He's getting pieces of value everywhere.
Yeah, but I think Zerg's fine with this. You can hit him from afar and it's okay, as long as he's still mining gas at all these places.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, over time, he is going to build up his Ultra count, and Ultra Defiler together is the scariest thing for Bio, right? Because there's no real way to do anything against that. They can, the combination of Dark Swarm, Plague, and Ultra, it's like, normally you'll irradiate Ultras, right? If they have Ultras out, you're hoping that there's not really Defilers with them. Because, like, let's say you irradiate an Ultra, they'll Plague you. Let's say you don't irradiate the Ultra, they'll Dark Swarm.
Yeah, though, there's so many ways to dismantle a Bio army. And from here, Zerg is going to start spilling onto the map with Lings and Ultras, and then start to take more bases. Okay. Is there a Defiler here? Yes, there is. So that means there'll be a Dark Swarm as well.
Yeah, he's throwing down some defense matrices, but you can see, right, he throws down Plague, he throws down Dark Swarm, just forces everything back. Sock does have very good upgrades, but it is 4 gases right now, which makes it very, very difficult.
And even though Sock does have a 3rd base and soon to be a 4th, there's going to be this pretty big tempo swing here, where Zerg is going to just be all over the map, where Terran was the one that was trying to push the Zerg, and the Zerg was fending off with as little as possible. It's going to change pretty soon here.
A couple dropships going out. He also made 2 more, so he's up to 4 dropships right now. It looks like that's what he wants to do to try to come back in this game, is just kind of catch a base off guard. Of course, as soon as he sees something like that Ling, the Scourge just make a beeline to him. Oh man, that's painful.
Oh man, so goodbye, Sulky.
Yeah. And then the scariest thing in the game is one Defiler walking towards your army. You know what that's going to do.
And the Plague here, not only does it deplete the HP for the Marines, but it also drains the medic energy.
Yeah, you got to use a move command on the medic and like move it onto something.
If you leave it unattended, it will absolutely, like, the army almost self-destructs.
Yeah.
The way the automated behaviors of the units go. They'll just start to heal and everything goes bad. Nice.
That was a very nice.
Sick.
That was perfect.
Do it again.
Yeah, he's trying to suck up some of the Scourge so he can actually get a drop off. We also saw he did have the physics lab to make battle cruisers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be a good addition, I think, in a game like this where there's...
Yeah, a couple BCs could be very nice, but I think he may have missed the window for them.
Yeah, well, Zerg is now in control of the map here. Now, this drop, everything got to unload, so maybe they can actually take that base out over there.
Yeah. Look at these depots, by the way. These are really purposely placed, very nicely done, to kind of screw up Ultra's pathing and everything. But, I mean, Sulky's just getting very big. You can see he's up 20 supply, 30 supply right now.
Okay, another irradiate here on that Ultra.
Yeah, Sock doesn't have a whole lot.
Yeah, oh wow, the Lings actually killed the CC. That's really bad.
Yeah. All right, this is not looking overly promising. Sock is not mining that much. Sulky taking yet another base. There's a lot of Ultras out. Sulky's up a good 20+ army supply. You know, you really got to be ahead on army supply in this matchup as well.
Okay, this attack is a little bit flimsy from the Zerg, but I think it's probably going to be enough anyways. The Plagues have been really good, which means these Marines die in one hit, whether it's a Ling or an Ultra. And behind this, there's going to be more Ultras, more Defilers, more Lings. And if Terran loses this base that the Zerg keeps encroaching on, Terran will lose the game. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's all that he's mining from at this point. And that's just not enough income. You see, Sock is still trying to pull something together. He has a decent vessel count for sure. He has a BC now. BCs actually do pretty well because of their high damage burst. Does pretty well against Ultras, but it's only one. If he had 6 BCs right now, I'd still say he was going to lose the game.
Okay, more Ultras coming down now, and this is really cleaning up the rest of these Marines. And this is it, I think. I think from here, Zerg can close the game out. Totally. And that means that we're going to have Sulky versus Snow for the winner's match.
Yeah, kind of expected, right? I mean, those are the two big name players within the group. I think Sulky played a pretty clean game there. I was surprised and impressed by the fact that he completely skipped Lurker. That was kind of an interesting, novel approach.
Yeah, he seemed to have a very good handle on just how much he can hold off.
Yeah.
I think the high ground on those areas you're trying to take really help.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure. I do want to say, though, if Sock had 3 fire bats with his second push that went to the top right immediately, he would have busted the base and probably won the game. So there was risks involved with not having the lurkers there, but normally you don't have fire bats at that time.
So now we're going to go to our winners match and discover who out of Group B is going to be the first to advance. It'll be on Eclipse as well. Sulky versus Snow, that's one I'm really excited about. I really don't know who takes that. I'm very curious to see how both sides are going to play.
Yeah. This is going to be a great match.
And we're going to go to break now, guys. We'll be back in just a little bit.
For but you're everything a miracle. Life is worth living when you give me all your loving. And our love is a chain reaction. It comes in spurts, so let's keep this moving. Yeah, you got me high when I'm feeling low. You got me losing all of my control. And this world is always feeling cold, but you're everything a miracle.
ASL 시즌 10 타이거스.
What's up, everybody? We're back, and it's time to go to the map Eclipse and decide who will be the winner, the first to move on out of Group B into the round of 16 of ASL. And this match is going to kick so much ass. Sulky versus Snow. I think Snow can take it, but the thing about Sulky is sometimes he just smashes people, makes it look easy, and he looks like the best player in the world.
Yeah, Sulky's best play matches anyone's best play. I think that is a good way to put it. Like, it just matters what he brings on a given day. Like, sometimes he plays in a way that we just shake our heads, and other times he's the best Zerg in the world. Yeah, there you go. So, like, which Sulky are we going to see right now going up against Snow? I think he played quite nicely against Sock, but Snow is a different level than Sock.
Yeah, for sure. You got to be careful about Hydra Bus on this map. I mean, you do on most maps, but placement can be a little bit tricky. And actually, we're going to hop right into this, guys. Sulky versus Snow, our best of one,
ASL
starts
시즌
now.
10 게임 준비 완료. 이클립스에서 게임을 시작합니다.
So the bottom left, we've got Sulky. There he is. And in the top right, Snow. All right. We know that this is the most popular map for Cannon Rush. Do you think there's any chance Snow will go for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always, if Protoss can Cannon Rush, I don't think they should avoid it. You know.
Okay.
It's especially on this position for a Sulky down here on the bottom. There's a really good spot where you can kind of tuck a cannon in there.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if you go for overpull, you basically prevent Cannon Rush. So
yeah.
I mean, the Zerg would have to be choosing a build. This is why it was really interesting to cast that game with Bisu versus Shine, because like, part of me, I wish I had bothered to ask Shine when we were at the studio that day.
Yeah.
But you know, part of me almost thinks maybe he wanted to be Cannon Rush so he could do that all in anyways from there.
Oh, you should actually ask him at GSL on Wednesday.
Remind me on Wednesday to do it, because it just
looks
looks like something.
You mentioned that. I don't think you mentioned it on stream, but you're like, because Shine comes up with crazy scenarios.
Yeah.
And so when you said that, it was crazy, but was it all the way crazy?
He puts a lot of thought into these very peculiar builds, and it just seems like one of these things where, like, first of all, it's hard to. He faked the Hydra push so well that he actually got the lurkers up there and everything. I mean, it was just so good. But this game, we're not going to have a Cannon Rush because the build order prevents it. This is why if you have to teach a Zerg player one build, it's overpull.
Yeah,
you could avoid.
That's the ultimate safety. Right?
Yeah, you're kind of safe versus everything. There are really good plays against it, but you've actually denied even the opportunity for so many other builds to beat you.
Is there? The best thing against overpull, would it be something like the 11 Nexus from Rain, or is it something else?
That's a good question. I'm not totally sure.
Because you mentioned there are builds that are good against it. And then,
well,
the
then
thing
we're
that
seeing,
came to mind was because remember Reigns 11 Nexus, we were like, wait a minute, can you do this? And then it like perfect.
Yeah, if you make a cannon right as the Zerglings hatch, you'll stop it. Like when you see Zerglings come out and you put a cannon down, you're fine. And so this was 11 Nexus 13 Forge.
Damn, well,
So
I guess that's exactly what we were just talking about.
God, we're good.
Whoa.
I just need to see a mirror so I can kiss it. So yeah,
Legally
I
changed my name to Mirror.
Nick Plotton, Mirror Stemkowski. So yeah, I guess that answers the question for a lot of Protoss players.
Okay,
on one-on-one maps, you scout them, you see Overpool, Nexus, into Forge.
I like how he sent the probe too, because he started out through the center and then went through the bottom via one of the ramps.
Right.
And Sulky had an Overlord placed exactly to see that probe coming, because the probe always goes through the back path for cannon rushes here. And it wasn't until he saw the probe that he made the pool.
Yeah.
So it wasn't exactly overpool, but it was close.
Right, right. And so from here, you know, the Protoss is always racing up, trying to get as many probes as possible, while managing the balancing act of having enough cannons to not die. And, you know, cannons are pretty scary. I mean, they fire very fast, but because you're reliant on only static buildings, if you screw up and they shoot the cannons down, you can lose very fast.
Yeah. As you said, you're reliant only on static buildings. If they're all gone, then what are you relying on?
So Zerg is not going to tip his hand here until the probe is killed, and that's why it's paramount for the Protoss that he keeps the probe alive and running around and scouting and seeing, you know, what do you see, what do you not see, because this is the very small window of time in between the Protoss development and the Zerg droning versus linging up that you need to make sure you're not getting Hydra busted.
Yeah,
and
he's doing a good job of keeping the probe alive, right?
Yeah, and he sees the layer. You still got to go back in there. There are builds where you can cancel the layer and like make 2 dens and do another weird. There's a bunch of stuff you want to make sure is not coming.
Yeah.
And you know, this is just the way this matchup works. Certain matchups are like this. I mean, like Protoss is the boogeyman for Terran in the early game too, where it's like you can just, there's so much stuff you can do, and your units are basically better than their units. I mean, Zealots and Dragoons are definitely better than Marines, or 1 tank or 1 Vulture. And same thing here, Lings are just insane.
Keep going, Tastes.
It's true, it's true. But you know, you look, speed Lings versus a slow Zealot.
Yeah.
It's terrible. If you can, you know,
slow Lings versus a speed Zealot. I mean, you know.
By the way, there's no apparent cheese here. We have a Spire coming up here, and that's to match the Corsair that'll come out across the map.
Yeah, it looks completely standard from Sulky, right? Yeah, there's a Hydralisk den, so it probably will see 4 Scourge pop out, and that's it. Yeah, you're going up to 5 hatch immediately. So very, very standard play from Sulky.
Yeah. And this is a good way to play. This is a good way to approach the game. Basically, you turtle up at your 3rd, you turtle up at your natural. This is you just trying to match the pace here. You're not trying to do some kind of tempo swing where you're going to have a bunch of mutas fly in there and blindside the Corsairs and take the main. You're not going to try to do some sneaky drop. And this is one of those builds for people that are still learning. It's a good one to copy. It's done at lower leagues, and it's done at the very top leagues like ASL.
Actually, I have a question about this particular build, right?
Sure.
This is what I would consider the most standard Zerg vs. Protoss opener, where you go 3 hatch on 3 different bases, Spire off 1 gas, 4 Scourge, 5 hatch, and Evo Hydra. How do you decide when to take a 4th base with this particular build? I've never really, I'm never sure when Zerg is going to take that base, like how they're deciding like how many Hydras to make. Are they going to try to get aggressive at all, that type of thing?
I think if they identify that there's nothing they can do to win the game, and they have lurkers, you get an insane number of lurkers.
Okay, but you get speed and range before lurkers, right?
Zealot leg speed?
No, I'm talking Hydra. speed and range.
You always will have speed and range, yeah.
Yeah, before you get the Lurker upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, there are some builds, and maybe there's some that I don't know, because I don't know exactly the ins and outs of this from the Zerg side, but basically you need Hydras with speed and range just to take fights.
Yeah.
And then from there, you know, Lurkers, and sometimes you'll see players rush into it. Like we may, for instance, on this map, especially since we're still on 5 hatch, we may end up with a Lurker contain. That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, actually, you could build a hatch out here too for one of those really entrenched ones.
Yeah, that's possible.
We see that occasionally still, even though it's kind of an older build.
That was in the very old meta, like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Just to put a hatchery out there and then just drop sunken colonies. And
yeah, we see it on some maps still, though, you know?
And so at this point, the Hydras come up here and they're looking to break. And there's the 6th hatch. Okay, so he's going to go for mass Hydra.
And when you see the 6 hatch, does that mean that Lurkers are going to be delayed extra?
I believe so.
Yeah.
You want to have just a lot of Hydras out. And you're looking for any... You're looking to make it hard for the Zerg, or the Protoss, excuse me, to move across the map. Now, there is a move where you can make a bunch of mutas behind this and try to snipe Templars.
Yeah.
But there's been some pretty modern adjustments that have been made in PvZ, and when one of them is like, since this, because if you remember, like last year, this was like how every Protoss died, or maybe it was the year before. I sometimes I blur our seasons together. But yeah, like before it, there were so many games where the mutas come out and snipe the Templars, and then the Zerg army wins. And so some Protoss players now hide a Dark Archon, and when the push comes, they catch the mutas with Maelstrom, gun them down, and then the push comes through, and a lot of times the Zerg players fall apart. I don't know if we're going to have it here, but it's worth mentioning. I think we're going to go up to 8 gates again. By the way, this is the hyper-modern way to play PvZ. Is like, you do not need to get a 3rd base right away. It's okay. Even if you can't push them, they're not taking a 4th.
Right now I'm looking at this, right, and this feels pretty good for Sulky. Like, we've seen multiple storms come out. They didn't really do that much, to be honest. And now he's fighting with slow Zealots.
What is going on here? Speed is really late. Did he forget it?
I don't
know about ever getting speed this late.
Yeah.
Because, like, if they have enough Hydras, they just shoot your cannons down and your Zealots, like they're in a bad dream, like running really slowly.
Yeah.
Get one hit
or
off
underwater or whatever.
Okay, there it is. All right. You didn't forget it. That's good. And from this point, the Zerg runs back. That's why you want to be careful, because if you get the right body blocking with the Zealots, you can pick off a few. And now we'll have Dragoon range finishing up, if it's not done already. And observers here. And now we'll probably go into the phase where a bunch of Lurkers are made. We're kind of seeing this happen here now. But Sulky is going to have to be careful. He has to keep these Hydras together.
Ooh, that micro.
That was really good.
That was just beautiful unit movement from Snow, and he actually breaks off his Zealots into 2 groups now.
Yeah, and the Zealots actually have to disperse in different directions. Now, this is pretty smart maneuvering right now, because he's looking for, okay, where's a place I can hit? I love the Corsairs out here just looking for any kind of a fight.
I love how he's actually just moved the Zealots in these 2 different directions. Now he's hitting the 4th base. Gonna get a few drones before the Hydras get there and just run away. Dude, this is awesome looking. I really enjoy Snow in all the matchups.
No, he's such a great player.
I really like his PvZ. I really like his PvT. He's just so strong.
Now, there's one DT slipping through here. Now, there's a lot going on both sides, and sometimes, especially when you have the Corsairs come in there and hit the Overlords a couple times, they've had to reposition, and you can slip a DT in. Now, Zerg players know this is coming, but sometimes there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Like we saw in the first game here with you, and where they just got in. Now, again, we do not have the 3rd base here. It might be a very late 3rd. Protoss, I'm sorry, Dragoon range was actually later than I even thought. Okay. So, the final piece of the puzzle here is the Dragoons.
Well, he's just looking to bust the 4th or the natural?
Probably, yeah. Well, I mean, he's powering up, right? Now that all the gateways are done, all the upgrades are done, all your money is just going to a Protoss army.
Yeah.
And this is really where Protoss hits their stride. The game actually becomes easier for Protoss here.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the early game is much...
all the hard,
yeah, this is where you're just making these awesome units that have all these great abilities that work together.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, they're all just great units. Now, couple things. We're gonna have a push, but real quick, but just to go into the big picture, we want to watch and see if Zerg can steal one of these bottom right bases. If they get lurkers up there, it's probably gonna be the Zergs for the rest of the game, unless Protoss is something pretty drastic.
That's pretty common.
So the goal here is to get the third up. Protoss is going to get close to maxing, but I got to say, Sulky's supply is so high right now.
It's so scary, actually, how much he has at the moment. He has played a really beautiful game so far. Not that Snow hasn't. I like that Snow's taking the third. I feel like Snow actually can't/shouldn't attack. I feel like he should be running back and forth here, trying to bait Hydras into storms. You know what I mean?
I think the good game plan here is to just get Dragoons and to try to do a push. Now this is where it becomes, it's hard because you don't want to lose observers.
Yeah.
Hydras can, like, if they think about observers, they explode.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing kills anything faster than a Hydra shooting an observer. And observers are just, they're bad units. They're slow. They have like no hit points.
Observers are stupid.
And then they don't even get that much vision. No, they're good against Terran. Against Zerg, it's like, this is actually the weakest point of their army. So we see Zerg fanning out on the map here. Interesting to see how Snow's splitting his army here. It looks like he's trying to find a location where the lurkers are not. Yeah, I was talking about this push up here.
And he actually pulls back that observer beautifully as the Hydras ran forward. Nice storms, very nice storms so far. Now, he really needs these storms to nail it because this is only goons, and goons alone are generally not that good.
Yeah, well, what he did was he forked off some of the zealots, trying to go elsewhere, because he's trying to control two sides of the map at once. It's really hard, right?
Yeah.
The bottom two bases are both these Nook expansions that you can just take, and there's not a lot of recourse there, right? So you're trying to control there, but then you're also trying to push in here. And I am worried that Sulky is going to come like a sledgehammer and smash this tiny little outpost.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like it's something you can hold.
It feels like Snow has to back up and play like a maxed game here, which doesn't feel super good anyways if Sulky gets up to Hive, right?
Well, you can go... Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit weird because they're both going to be growing into the upper left. I mean, again, we want to keep one eye always on the bottom right, but there's... I mean, there are turtling plays that Protosses are getting pretty good at. You can go for Reavers and try to hold everything off, but it gets tricky. It gets to the point when if you get late enough in this, and we're going to know when we see the Robo support bay put down here. Right now, it's kind of a question of, has the Protoss concluded that he will not break the Zerg? I think we both agree it doesn't seem like there's any
It doesn't seem like
spots.
he can break him now.
Right.
But, I mean, the Hive is not done yet, right? And really, to finish off this army, you need Defilers.
Yeah, but you also just need Lurk. I mean, the thing is, I don't think Protoss can push.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm saying I don't think Zerg do you think Zerg can push? Because I think if Snow is sitting defensively with his storms...
I think it's very hard for either side to push here.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to have to start seeing plagues if Sulky wants to try to kill stuff. Plague
I agree.
Dark Swarm.
So the end game plan here is just to get Reavers is the kind of the final piece that allows it. That's kind of like the Protoss, like Cannons and Reavers is like the Protoss version of Spores and Lurkers and Sunken Colonies.
Okay, yeah.
Where you're kind of fine against everything.
Well, it's the one thing that can actually kill stuff under Dark Swarm when it comes in.
Yeah. And the Zerg is never going to trade efficiently. But again, the next step here in this game is the fact that bottom right has been taken. And this is just not something Protoss can take back. You could have 3 Protoss maxed out armies with all the right units, and they just all would die to that.
Yeah.
So,
what if you got a bunch of Dark Archons and just mind controlled all the Lurkers on top of the ramp?
That's how you do it.
Bam.
There you go. But then you'd have to have observers to see up there to just click on them,
so
and then it gets shot down. There's no way. I am really... Oh, actually, I think he might be trying to even open up some supply here with the Zealots. So, the other... I forgot to finish the other half of this. I don't see the Robo support bay, but if you get into a game like this, and you don't go into the Robo attack here, you're in trouble because the other play is to have speed shuttles with Templars. And then you just bombard the...
Definitely see that all the time.
Yeah, and that's like... You don't see it a lot in a lot of these early games because the Protoss is totally focused on pushing. But eventually you need speed shuttles. Like it's just too good. Okay. So I am surprised because it looks like Protoss is still trying to push here. And I just feel like there's so much that the Zerg has, and maybe this is me projecting because of my own losses in games, but it just seems like there's going to be lurkers behind lurkers behind lurkers forever.
Yeah, well, I think you're basically right about that.
Yeah.
I do have to, you know, I do this every late game PvC. Is there any chance of
Carriers,
an Arbiter
no.
or carriers?
If you were going to get an Arbiter, like let's say you wanted to like recall like a huge amount of your army into the main, maybe.
I always like the idea of that. Like if you can sneak it through.
You know, I think in theory it's not the worst thing. I think if you end up getting enough gases, yeah, I guess. Protoss is continuing to try to push here.
And you're saying no on the carriers?
No.
Is that a hard no?
That is so hard. No is like, it's an opaque, rock hard, jagged edged no.
Okay. So a Brood War now. A Brood War no. Okay.
Yes.
Got you.
But again, and I'm very curious about the way Snow is approaching this because he's such a master. Like he is like the Protoss is Protoss, and he has not gone into robo-turtling. Despite seeing
his storms are badass.
Yeah.
He is pushing in. But when I see Archons being made, I'm like, really good storms.
Again, I mean, he's being patient.
I love his patience. We did see this against Yoon, too, where he'll just sit there and hold position and make sure that he's taking everything efficiently. A lot of Protosses would be, like, attacking into things by now.
Yeah, and look, it looks like he's actually making headway, and I'm kind of blown away by what I'm seeing here because this just seems like such an uphill fight. But he's doing it, man.
Yeah, it seems
he's
like
been doing it
kind
with
of breaking
basically one observer this whole time, which I also just don't understand. But
okay, well, we actually have a giant flank coming in here. Lurkers on one side, Hydras on the other, and it looks like this army is going to be repelled.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that the Zergs can do is they can wait for you to get impatient with your storms, and once you've thrown them all down in that area, then all the Hydras come out and just start to take the fight again.
A lot more High Templars have popped out.
No gas mining there. That's not good.
Ooh.
That's actually,
yeah,
that's pretty bad.
Hopefully he jumps around to his bases in a moment here and makes sure everything's fine.
If Protoss live through an extended game, it's off the gas. You need enough gas that you can throw Templars.
Okay,
into,
he's gonna do it now.
Yeah, he'll see it now. To throw Templars in drops and hit bases to get Reavers. Again, I know I keep saying it, guys. I'm sorry. I thought Reavers were going to be here a while ago, but
he's not mining gas from that base still, I think.
The Zerg?
No. Snow. Normally you can see the guys popping in and out of gas. I don't see it at the fourth.
Okay, here we go. This is very important, this work. Storm drop here.
Not the best.
That was
not
about as bad as it could have gone, to be honest.
Okay. And, decent try. Oh.
Well.
Bye, shuttle.
Sad life. Oh. Okay. I'm going to be really surprised if Snow's still not mining gas up there. I feel like he has to be, but...
Okay, Snow trying to break through right now. Oh, there goes the Observer.
Yeah, Observer disappears. This is also why you want to have multiple robos here, is you need shuttles and observers.
Told you.
Okay, so is that could that ever be intentional? Let's think about this for a second.
No,
that could never be intentional, right?
Never, never, never.
Yeah, there's like I see no logical reason.
Yeah, he's literally got 2 base minerals mining. He definitely has enough probes to put 3 on gas and be happy about it.
Yeah, you know,
so he's missing out on 2 High Templars a minute right now.
Yeah, and this is like just not beyond just the comforting feeling of saying, oh, pros do this too. This is bad.
Yeah.
This is like really, really bad.
The catharsis.
Yeah.
Like, why did I have no gas that game?
Yeah.
We all go through it.
Okay, so. Oh, okay, now this is important. A great player if he actually kills that off.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of Zergans are coming up.
So
got good upgrades. Look at that, 3-1-1.
Yeah. Now, this is important. If Protoss takes this upper left base, then it's up in the air who takes this. By the way, I think there's DTs dropped. I think there's DTs dropped in the bottom left.
Oh my God,
Something's
you might
happening.
be right. Yeah, something's going on there.
Yeah.
There's some blue dots, and he kills this hatchery as well. Very nice.
Yeah, Hawkeye Tasteless sees all here.
Yeah, seriously.
Something's happening in the main. Oh no, it's just 2 Corsairs. Sorry.
There could have been something though. We don't know. Maybe it got dealt with.
Turn my caster badge in here.
Hawkeye's tasteless. Yeah, you are the worst superhero.
I am good with a bow and arrow. So, this bottleneck position is actually really good for the Protoss ult. Even if you're going to sack some Archons and everything else in here, as long as the Lurkers don't get through there. Hey, this is getting a little bit crazy. I'm kind of shocked he's pushing.
Well, that storm missed everything.
Yeah, that exactly doesn't hit the 2 Lurkers in between it.
Good spreading from Sulky.
So by the way, another hatchery was denied in the bottom right. This is tough for both sides. Like, both sides are going to be exhausted after this game's done because there's a lot going on here. And I'm surprised. Really, Snow with not a single Reaver here, but he's making it work.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing to see because we normally think of him as someone who loves Reavers, but he likes to be very active with Reavers, whereas the Reavers you're describing generally sit there.
Well, the thing is, when you get up to this many bases, you do get a lot of resources. So the problem is when Plague and Dark Swarm become a factor like they are going to be right now, this is where if you had 1 Reaver here,
yeah, it would change this so much.
Yeah. Instead, you're having to have Zealots fight under here.
And now you're going to, you're going to have to like throw down extra storms.
Another unit is the Dark Archon. You can zap the Defilers after they've consumed.
Is awesome.
And Feedback is one of the most responsive spells in the entire game. So here's the Robotech coming down here, but this looks late, and maybe I'm being too critical of Snow here, but this does look like a game where things were a little bit slow, even not mining his gas.
Yeah,
at the 4th.
Some things have gone wrong in the game, and Sulky has passed him in supply now, and I mean, Plagues are coming down. So that Hive Tech really coming into play. Plague is just ridiculous.
Yeah, now there's enough Archons and Zealots, I think, that Snow sort of brute forces his way into holding this. And now, I would say, by the way, we can see the Robo support bay was never made up until now because it was just made in the upper left.
Oh, okay.
So shuttle speed is probably only just started. Now, that matters not so much even for Reavers in this case, but when you think about potential storm drops and how much more damage could have been done. Speed shuttles, in some ways, are one of the most effective things in the entire game. The amount of more damage you get when you harass with a speed shuttle is just really hard to react to. Like, Scourge can't even catch a speed shuttle.
Yeah, good point. We see that he's being reasonably effective here.
He's
and
not mining up in his main either with the probes. He's got like 5 probes mining minerals in his main. Or not his main, I'm sorry, the other base. The other base. Whatchamacallit? The double gas base.
Oh, he's starting to get broken here.
So right now, this game is going to continue on if Protoss holds this. If Protoss loses the upper left base,
the game is definitely
and
Sulky's.
God forbid a hatch starts there. That's it. That's it.
That base has Zerg written all over it. If they get that base, every matchup's over.
That base has Zerg tattooed on its face if that happens.
He's going to continue to hold for now.
I feel like Sulky getting a little bit desperate by just trying to kind of force the issue here with the Lurkers.
I think because he has the bottom right 2 bases, he's like, okay, I have Infinity, let's kill him.
Yeah.
And if he kills this base, that he's correctly identified that this is the base that will keep Snow in this game because it's a double gas, just like Sulky has 2 gases in the bottom right. This top left makes the game even.
Okay, the Reaver's out. Now,
that's going to help a lot.
Yeah, once he gets Scarabs in that Reaver, here we go. This is where things just disappear for the Zerg. And again, I'm surprised we didn't have this earlier. I do feel like I'm not speaking out of school here when I say, like, he just should have had that way before.
Sure. Now, there's, High Templars, Archons, Reavers, all sitting here. Here's another Artosis question for you.
Yeah.
Is it time for Guardians?
Oh, Guardians could
like
be
Guardians
cool.
against this type of thing. Every time I bring it up, people think I'm a dummy.
I think that you can beat Guardians somewhat easily because you have Storm. We don't have Dark Archons here, but we're seeing more and more Dark Archons in PvZ. And the Dark Archons kind of fix a lot of surprise problems. You know, like a bunch of Ultras coming forward. Sure. You can Maelstrom them. So I would say no.
Okay.
I think it's like it's kind of a cool way to approach it, but I feel like a good Protoss player just disarms that with ease. Okay. And so now the Zerg, by the way, Sulky is abandoning progress and taking out the bottom left. He's now resigning this to a game where Protoss is going to have another base, the final base on the map, by the way. So we could mine out on the map, which would be so cool. he's going to try to do a play where he breaks the main.
Yeah.
So on this map, and this is something I've experienced firsthand, if you lose your main, there's actually nowhere you can make your buildings.
You have no room for buildings.
Yeah, you can't make buildings.
Those are really the only places that you can build stuff as Terran and Protoss.
And I feel like a lot of players don't find this out until they can't make buildings themselves.
Yeah.
And so instead he's going to look for weak spots anywhere. But if he can break the main, that's enough. And then we have a Stone Age Protoss here.
And the way he's controlling things, I wouldn't even mind seeing just some lings dropped in there. Like, Cracklings kill buildings faster than anything you've ever seen.
I think you're right, and I think also Protoss is neglecting Corsairs. Now, if there's enough Robos here, and it seems like he's still just getting the bare minimum of Robos, and maybe Snow's math to this out where he knows the Zerg will mine out before him, maybe. But again, you can throw down some starports, make some more Corsairs, surprise the Zerg later on with this stuff. Keep making Templars, keep making Reavers. The Reavers now have been ported over here. It's going to get shot down almost immediately. But you can really see just how hard it is to deal with Reavers as a Zerg.
Yeah.
Tucks the Reaver back a little bit further here.
Oh my God, the Crackling's just insane, but the Reaver definitely showing that value over and over.
Yeah, this is why. Oh, how funny. Artosis?
What?
He doesn't have any of his lurkers there. Those lurkers that were brought up were the ones defending.
Oh my God.
He might actually break this.
No, I mean, only one lurker left over there? Definitely looks that way. But he's sending a ton of units to save it.
Well, if the Protoss kills this, it is complete disaster right now. And he's on the high ground now.
Okay, I mean, he's got Storm. Storm's the ramp as everything's coming up. These two Archons being heroes.
Well, not just that, Storm's the drones here.
Oh my God, yeah, you wrecks that economy, but with only Archons left over, I guess this will get cleaned up.
By the way,
won't lose the hatch.
This base is gone. Now, I don't imagine Zerg will ever take that.
Yeah.
But Protoss has to spend some resources retaking it. And this is a game, everyone, where bases are getting mined out.
They really are.
And so the Zerg is going to pretty soon here only have the bottom right, kind of the weird off area down there, those two little high ground areas. I always call these Nook expansions because it's like a little tiny spot. You get some defenses up there. It's very hard to ever break. Okay, great counter push here. Oh, damn.
Man. A lot of lurkers coming in. He does have a bunch of Reavers, though.
Yeah, the thing is, this could be an overextension here big time. I mean, these Reavers are basically all going to kill this, and it's not like the probes are killed here. Protoss actually backs up here, too. I think smartly so.
I love it, man. Look at these Reavers just go to town. Two Lings almost kill a Reaver.
I know. It's so funny how good Cracklings are in the end game.
Dude, Zergling is the actual best unit in the whole game.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It looks like we're going to have maybe another little push come out here.
How important is it that Snow retakes the base he lost?
It's not important for now.
Okay.
But eventually. Well, I mean, look, right now with the biggest story in this game is that Snow has 2 fresh gases.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Templars, that's a lot of Archons. You can see neither side has a lot of minerals. And Sulky has banked up a lot of gas because he's mostly just been making Hydras and Defilers and Lings and Lurkers. Basically, we would need to see a couple things. We need to see some cannons back here, some stable defense. I don't know that Protoss can push the bottom right bases. But I don't know. This
just
is,
have to wait for them to mine out.
I don't know. I mean, this is a really
one of the bottom right ones
game.
is almost mined out. It's the one that he attacked that really has a lot of resources left. Oh no!
Oh yeah, he needs to split this up right away. By the way, this base mining out. So I mean, now that's just like territory.
Yeah.
It's not really pushable. Plagues are coming down here.
No, hitting Archons. A plague on an Archon is basically like a tattoo. It's like, it doesn't hurt very much and it looks cool.
Yeah. It's like not a painful tattoo either. It's not like in the armpit or, you know,
no, it's an ankle tattoo.
Yeah. So, look at the supplies here. This is kind of cool. Now, 126 supply for Zerg and late game. This is actually still a lot. It's had this weird thing about StarCraft 1 where low supply Zergs actually still have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I am trying to figure out where we're going to go from here.
We're going to go to the main base and lose everything.
So, yeah, this is what I was worried about for Snow's sake. Sulky coming in here, goodbye gateways.
Yeah, he's going to lose, like, every building.
Yeah.
And this is not even the most scary army. It just does damage to buildings so quickly.
Yeah, watch how quickly these gateways disappear when cracklings hit them. It's actually...
Protoss buildings against 3-3 cracklings is the stupidest matchup
ever
in the game.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
They kill everything.
Yeah. Now, looks like some more gateways are going to slip. And see that egg there? They can't break that easily.
Yeah, it has a lot of armor. Right, with he does break it with that Reaver, but look, this was great. He got rid of the Templar Archives, and now he's even targeting on the Citadel, so he can't build another one quickly.
So this might be the winning play here by Sulky. Again, remember, resources are disappearing on the map. Nobody has a lot in the bank, especially not for minerals. And it doesn't matter how much gas you have. If you run out of minerals, you can't make anything.
Yeah.
Everything costs some minerals in this game. There's no gas-only unit. Although imagine if there were.
That would be wild.
Okay, so right now, Snow is just trying to keep everything stable here. I don't know how many Reavers are over in the upper left. Let's take a look.
3 Reavers, 2 High Templar, an Archon.
Not that much. Again, I'm very surprised we didn't have more storm drops here.
Oh my god, well that storm right there dropped a lot of Hydras.
Yeah, great play here.
Look at that.
It's crazy. Here we go.
It
now
up.
this is important because this should be most of the drones in the game right now.
Oh, that was
sick. So good. Oh, does he get it?
Oh my god!
Whoa!
Sulky with 61 minerals.
Okay, let's see how many probes are killed there. But at this point in time, both these guys are going to kamikaze onto the workers as fast as they possibly can.
Oh my god.
Oh, probe.
The probe is really, it's been on that Defiler all day.
That's Snow inside that probe. Look at him. Defiler's like, please, no.
Snow is one of those navigators from Dune, and he's in that little green box the probe is carrying.
Yeah. Well, oh my god, that's how strong a Defiler is with armor. Look at this. The Defiler's almost healing back here. Look at this.
Defiler has base 2 armor, Tasteless. This is one of my great complaints in the game. Do you know how hard it is to kill Defiler with Marines?
I know. The number of times I'm chasing this with Dragoons and Zealots,
it just
still gets away.
It just wiggles away.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see if Snow survives here. Snow has to hold this, by the way. This is a lot of Lings.
That is a lot of Lings. And coming in with that flank is very good.
I think this is enough. I think this is enough. I don't know that he can hold.
Some insane storms, some insane Scarabs, but, I mean, Cracklings just will not be denied.
I think that's the end. We have some kind of harass going on over at the...
Snow's sending the rest of his army. Yeah.
GG.
Wow.
That was quite the game.
That was sick. 35 minutes of pure action, ZVP.
So, look, I always feel a little bit awkward doing this when we have like the best player of the race in the tournament, like trying to be too critical, but it does seem like he never really teched into the part of the game that would have allowed him to win. The Reavers were so late.
Yeah, they came a bit late. He definitely took a bit of damage in an area where Reavers could have helped. He was trying to push through, and it felt like he was kind of getting there, but then Sulky hit so many bases, right?
You know, if Protoss can keep that top left base, I think you can outlast the other side. But
well, that's half map, exactly.
Yeah, but you have 2 gases.
More minerals for
it's less resources to defend, basically.
Yeah.
Because the gases are so important. Storm is so important to hold everything off.
That was really an exciting game, though. I felt like it was very well played by both sides.
Yeah.
Really showing their level against each other. I mean, this is a perfect type of match. Snow is a KSL finalist and an ASL finalist, and wait, he did make it to the finals of KSL, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. I think so. Anyways, I mean, Sulky is a KSL champion. He's so good. Great matchup.
비조 경기 함께하고 계십니다. 비조에서 가장 먼저 16강에 진출한 철벽 김민철 선수 만나보겠습니다.
The first player who advanced to the round of 16 is Sulky. Congratulations. He says thank you.
비우겠다라고 말씀을 하셨는데 오히려 경기력은 꽉 찬 시즌이 될 것 같습니다.
So in the pregame interview, you said you'd empty your mind and just play the game you wanted to play. But you've showed some great games today. How do you feel making it to the round of 16? Yeah, it worked out pretty well for me. I did make a lot of mistakes today, though.
선수의 그 예전 전성기가 떠오르는 듯한 그런 느낌의 경기력이었는데요. 사실 장윤철 선수와의 경기는 꽤나 긴 장기전이었습니다.
So it seems like you're playing like you were in your prime.
그렇게 많지 않았다고 들었는데.
That last game, by the way, was very long.
이렇게 잘 풀어나갈 수 있었을까요?
I heard you didn't have that much time to practice for that map on that matchup. What's your secret? How are you able to play so well?
마음 편하게 평소에 했던 그냥 플레이를 했어요.
Well, just like I said,
제가 제일 자신 있던 운영 싸움 돼가지고.
if I can not be anxious and focus in and just try to do my best, I'll do fine. Especially if I can play like I play at home. So neither of those games looked very easy.
근데 굉장히 다양한 마법 유닛을
Let's talk about Sok going from 2-star ports with Wraiths into bio play.
그 베스를 막아냈던 게 주요한 원인이었던 것 같아요.
네, 그 한시를 또 모르고 있었던 거.
You defended his attacks very well.
그것도 컸던 것 같고 이미 한시에서 이제 성큰으로 수비한.
Yeah, but I don't think he noticed my sneaky base quick enough, and he wasn't able to stop me.
선수와의 경기에서는 30분이 넘는.
As long as I hold that, I basically win.
땅 따먹기 싸움 때문에 정말 언제 어떻게 상황이 뒤바뀔지 참 보는 내내 좀 긴장을 했어요. 경기하면서는 언제 좀.
So the match against Snow was a back and forth one.
저는 마지막까지도 이거.
When did you know that you were going to win that game?
좀 답답한 상황이었어요. 11시 멀티 때문에. 11시 멀티 밀고 나서.
I think it wasn't until the last minute or so I wasn't sure I was going to win. It was a very close game. I think when I pushed into his main base, I took that out, and then I thought, all right, now this is going to be my game.
승리를 거뒀던 것
This is my
같습니다.
victory.
좀 앞으로 16강은 어떨 거라고 좀 생각하세요?
16강도 이제 그냥 똑같은 마음가짐.
How do you feel the round of 16 will be?
좀 마음 편하게 하는 게 오히려 게임.
Well, I think I'll try my best to bring some good games and try to do the same thing I did today. And I think if I have an approach like that, it should be fine overall. I think also not being overconfident is necessary.
준비하도록 하겠습니다.
네.
If it's a win, it's okay.
많은 분들이 김민철 선수의 경기력이 굉장히 큰 즐거움을 얻었거든요. 팬들에게도 한 말씀 부탁드립니다.
Well, I would say I think from your performance, the fans are probably very excited to see you play. Any words to them, by the way?
좀안 좋은 경기력만 보여드렸었는데.
I think I showed the performance that I was hoping to, I guess, make my fans enjoy. From here on out, I'm going to keep showing great games, keep supporting me.
자, 이렇게 해서 비주에서 가장
Congratulations.
김민철 선수 만나봤고요. 저는 잠시
Yay!
Sulky, looking
Guys,
good.
we're going to a break. We come back. We're going to get rid of one of these players in Group B. Yeah!
울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
상큼한 복숭아가 사이다를 더 청량하게 새로움을 마시다.
실성 사이다.
성능을 대용량 배터리로 언제 어디서나 더 오래 즐기다. 72Wh 대용량 배터리, 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준, LG 울트라 기어. 듀얼 메모리, 듀얼 저장 장치, 고성능을 듀얼 업그레이드로 더 오랜 기간 즐기다.
잡아 킬 흐림님 힐 그렇지 나 힐 이점 수리끈 온다 잡아 바닥 바로
From the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
고고 핫식스.
싱그러운 청귤이 사이다를 더 청량하게 새로움을 마시다.
실성 사이다.
라면이요. 나왔습니다.
잠깐만 들어주세요. 잠깐 빨리 나와요 이거.
음료 나왔습니다.
From the beginning.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
Welcome back, boys and girls. We're going to go to the elimination match in Group B. Quick reminder here, since our schedule's kind of all over the place, we will be back tomorrow at the same time. We never have ASLs on Saturday. We actually casted GSL earlier today.
Yeah.
It's probably our heaviest day of work so far. Yeah, look, we've got a moment we're going to have to eliminate one of these two players. I'm not sure who I'm rooting for, and I definitely am not sure who's supposed to win this.
Okay, so I think if they were playing, like, okay, I guess I'm not sure who's going to win it either because I just don't know what strategy Sock is going to use. I know what Yoon is going to do already.
What's he going to do?
Yoon is going to go two-hatch Muta. This is an excellent map for it. That's his strong strategy.
Let's go.
And we're just going to have to see what Sock wants to open with.
You might be right. Sock's very good. I think Yoon, he kind of, I don't know, I mean, he was a bit of a disaster in the game against Snow, but let's see how he does, you know, in this one. I think TVZ, it does feel like there's a lot of places Zerk can run and hide to on this map.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's going to matter exactly what Sock opens with because he might choose something that's going to decide the game a bit earlier, but definitely it can be hard in a long game against Zerg here.
Okay, again, our map is Eclipse. Snow waits in the final match on Polypoid to fight the winner of these two.
All right. Yeah,
all right.
I mean, I think he'd actually have a better time against Sock, maybe?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, Snow already smashed Yoon once.
ASL
Guys, let's eliminate one of these players. This is the loser's map for Group B.
이클립스에서 게임을 시작합니다.
All right, so we have Yoon in the top right and Sock in the bottom left. So the first thing I do want to mention, these are the good spawns for Zerg against Terran. The top right is much more defendable than the bottom left, and that's because of the shape of the natural and also where the gas is located. So Meatless Craftsman's much better against bottom left because you do have the gas above your command center, which chokes up your movement a little bit because you're going to have buildings up there, you have to have turrets up there that mutas can fly in. Whereas in the top right, it's against the side of the map, right? So the gas never gets in the way. And then also the natural at the top right, you can build turrets in the mineral line. So that helps, whereas in the bottom left, it's kind of like bottom left of Fighting Spirit, where not only is the comm set in the way, but it's hard to put turrets where they go.
Yeah, and this is such a factor in TVZ. It's funny how each of the matchups, there's certain things where it's like, oh no, it's all about this. So I think you're probably correct in that Yoon is going to two-hatch Muta.
Yeah. Sock is, you see that he's walling in. This screams out that he'll be going either mech or a command center first.
Can he do both?
Either one is fine. Yeah, you could theoretically do both. Yeah, you can go mech with the command center first. So he throws on the command or the barracks rather, But I think he will be throwing down a gas with this. Because, again, if he tries to go bio here, I think Yoon will eat him up.
Oh, this drone is going to get a kill. This drone's out for blood. Look at him go.
Yeah. He's trying hard with that drone right now.
It's like a flying gargoyle assaulting these SCVs. Yeah.
Good micro, both sides. Beautiful from Sock. Great blocking.
The drone's on the loose now in the main. I thought he was going to put a hatch there. I was like, what? Artosis, help me. I don't understand this.
Don't worry. It's definitely not a thing. Yeah, the drone's still harassing. He hasn't actually checked to see if there's a gas in the main, which is the main reason why you actually drone scout.
Will he know there's a gas in the main just because of the lack of the CC, though?
He'll know momentarily because of the lack of their CC. He wouldn't know yet.
Wow.
Oh my god. He might even gas again. No, he's just going to drill
look at
home.
this. I got to get back to get minerals.
Okay, so his Overlord's coming down. The Overlord will be able to spot the timing of the command center, and just based off the timing of it, like you were kind of suggesting there, you can tell what's going on as far as tech in a lot of ways.
Sorry, by the way, everyone, the pre-interview before the game started, Yoon said that he was most confident with his unit control, so that's exciting to hear when you have Muta play coming in here. Because Mutas are units where you can eke out basically more damage than anything else that I can think of.
Yeah, well, it's completely control-based, too. It's like if you have great micro, you become a very good Zerg player.
Yeah, some of you might have experienced this when you get mismatched on ladder, and someone just has Mutas and just kills everything that you have.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Mutalisks are almost like a fighting game character or something, where you can like get so good at the inputs. Like that's the thing about Zerg is they get flying Akuma and they get to run around the map throwing fireballs and doing dive kicks and stuff.
In a way. But you know, there's counterplay from Terran if you don't think your micro is as good. And the counterplay would be things like the 1-1-1, right, where you can get out like Valkyries or you can get out Science Vessels, or the Goliath build where you don't micro against ranged Goliaths. It's just a yes/no question, right?
Right.
Like it becomes very tactical in a lot of ways, but the Goliaths outrange the Mutas by quite a bit. So
if I have to learn Terran, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, absolutely.
My name's going to be called Goliath Thumbs.
Goliath
and I just only make Goliaths in this matchup and never even know what stim the hotkey is.
Yeah, no, that's the way to do it.
I'm like, I don't even have it bound. I don't even bind it.
Put it on a key that's not even on your keyboard.
Yeah.
It's like the O with the 2 dots over it is what would make your units stim.
That's
You're
right.
like, I don't know, I have a Korean keyboard.
Yeah, if I need it, I have an Xbox controller plugged in and I just hit the X key. And
you have to twirl the D stick.
Yeah, I have to make 2 360-degree moves with the joystick to get the stim. Whoa,
Okay,
Goliath Thumbs is getting stim.
Yeah, he is going for the Goliath build.
All right.
And it's a very good choice for this situation. He'll have to throw down the eBay now. And yeah, he's only made the single Vulture, so the Vulture's just kind of watching for Lings coming out.
Yeah, it's
And
a little
here
bit
they
of a
come, here they
control
come.
measure.
Oh, that's actually, sorry, that's an SCV there, I guess? Yeah, and the Vulture's at home.
How embarrassing. Okay. So the Vulture's back at home. Up. Oh, look at you.
Okay, this is a great scout. This is a really nice
Look at this.
scout.
He got in.
Not too worried about damage amounts here. It's only a couple Lings that actually got in. So, oh, he gets an SCV. I mean, that's annoying. That's nice. But just scouting that it's the Goliath build, not the 1-on-1, can help you out a little bit, right? If you're playing against, and for the people that don't know what 1-on-1 is, sorry, that would be 1 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport.
Right.
And you're going to be getting out technical flying units to counter the Mutalisks, either Valkyries or Science Vessels, right? And so against that, your first group of Mutas is going to include Scourge in it. Against the Goliath build, which is what Goliath Thumbs would do, which is just pure Goliath, obviously you don't want any Scourge, and you're going to, it's just, it helps you to know before you get there what you're against.
All right, more Goliaths coming here.
Now, he's on 3 hatch. We're going to see, does he want to take a 3rd base? I think he's going to take a 3rd here. Yeah, it looks like he's going to take a 3rd. But some people try to go Hydra before that.
And this is a much more comfortable way to try to just confront the Mutas than having this chaotic skirmish where the Mutas are dive bombing your natural and you're trying to get turrets up and not lose Marines and not have medics get sucked into the worker line and start to heal SCVs when they're not with your army. And My heart rate's going up just thinking about it. It's so frustrating to play against.
Yeah, here he's just kind of spreading out. He wants to catch the Vulture. He just doesn't want to give him scouting intel. This is basically once your Vulture's dead, if you have nothing on the map, which you almost never do with this, you don't know what they're doing until you walk out with your first group of Goliaths.
Yeah, it's actually a really scary way to play the game.
You're
you
playing
just don't know
very
what's
blind.
happening.
Like, you don't get scans until you have, like, 5 factories with this. So it's a long time.
Okay, only one mute has been killed off. Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, this is all, everything's okay here for Sock.
Look at that, they all live.
Yeah. Goliaths don't actually kill mutas that quickly.
Yeah. Well, they can if the mutas don't move, but
yeah.
The problem with situations like when the mutas come in is it's hard to target an individual muta. So a lot of times each Goliath picks its own muta, and then all the mutas get out and they heal.
Yeah, you generally are doing attack moves with Goliaths because you want to hit the mutas as they come into range.
Well, anything that's going to get there.
Yeah. Okay, so after he defends this set of harassment, he should walk across the map partway at least.
Yeah, and this is the moment where it's a very weird timing because you're watching two units that kind of, like, mutas should be countered by Goliaths, but they're so good that sometimes they're not.
Straight up mutas actually beat Goliaths. Like, if you do nothing but produce mutas here and he does nothing but beat Goliaths, you will actually beat the Goliaths.
Especially if you get the armor upgrade. But it looks like a situation where you would not want the mutas, right? But in fact,
you can
go
go them. But if you stay on pure muta and your opponent realizes that this is occurring, they'll go for additional upgrades and irradiate, and you are dead.
Yeah, and then you are so hard countered.
Yeah, so you will eventually have to switch it up. Then I'm actually just slightly surprised that he hasn't walked across the map at all yet, but he might be feeling out that it's mass muta. It looks like he made a couple vultures, which is I like that play a lot because he's going to get some intel.
Yeah, this is really smart because there's no sunken colony here. He can actually run up here and kill all the drones.
Yeah, did he get +1? No.
Yeah, we see that now.
Yeah, it takes 3 vulture hits unless the grenades hit at exactly the same time to kill a drone.
All right, actually pretty good block. He could have killed off a lot more drones there.
Yeah. That was still very good, though.
But Goliath Thumbs needs to move out. He needs to go from Goliath Thumbs to Goliath Ankles.
So you want to catch them when they're in transition, generally, right? Like, if they're deciding, like, okay, I'm going to start going Hydras, that's going to be the best time to move out. But if they're like, I'm only going to build mutas, you got to be careful about that because they can do things like counterattack, then go back and fight your Goliaths. So you see how these mutas are kind of flying back in right now. I think he's going to poke. The Goliaths will still be there. He'll pull out.
Good defense here.
Yeah. Sees, okay, you still have some Goliaths there at home.
What do you think about, maybe you mentioned this and I missed it. He got +1 attack instead of armor for the mutas.
Yeah.
You always want that?
Well, I think it's going to help you to take the battles a little bit better. And you can do things like kill SCVs, you can kill turrets more quickly, things like that.
But then does he get armor right after that?
Oh, well, it matters how many mutas he really wants to end up going for. Like, I think he's going to switch it up now. But I'm not, you can't tell 100%. Like, you see that he has a Hydralisk Den, but he's going to make that. That doesn't mean he's going to make the Hydras themselves.
Okay. We're now into Goliath Ankles games. They're moving out.
Here are a lot of Goliaths. Yeah, there's the Hydra switch right there. So this is actually a very well-timed move out. But he's not going to be able to kill him with this yet, I don't think.
Yeah, now, one thing to note is that Goliaths have a really hard time. If it's only Goliaths, and you'll see this a lot more in PvT, but you can see it here in this as well. If Goliaths have to fight both air and ground, they're actually pretty bad.
Yeah. You don't really want Goliaths alone. He has enough right now that he can kind of fight whatever. Look at this. This is a great move. This is going to buy him time because, look, Sock just keeps moving back to defend.
Oh, man. Taking the barracks out is really annoying.
Sock has to decide now, is he going to switch into some siege tanks? Because he's seen that there's a decent amount of Hydras. But his siege tank timing window feels to me like it's a bit too late now.
I think
he's pure
right.
Goliath. I think he's just going to move with his Goliaths and try to win. And it might end up working because he has like 3 groups, maybe.
Yeah, well, these mutas are going to come in here, and the Goliaths are far away enough from home that, I mean, these ones that we're seeing here are far away enough from home that there's not a whole lot that Terran can do. Terran has to decide, am I going to go for it, Or am I going to go back and defend my base, and maybe that allows Zerg enough time to kind of recuperate? I mean, there's no turrets here. This is a lot of SCVs getting murdered.
Yeah, he has to go for it, though. He can't really turn around. But unfortunately for him, his Goliaths decided to walk around 2 different ways.
Yeah, you got to be
so
careful.
So he's losing a chunk of them. That is so painful. Now he's going to try to come uphill with the other group.
Yeah, having the Goliaths separated like this, I don't know that Sok can recover.
It's
the funny thing about going
tough.
Goliaths like this is you're kind of stuck doing it.
Yeah, like there are transitions into tanks and things like that. But this particular situation, like he stayed Goliaths for a really long time. He does have 1-1 now, but having those Goliaths split up really hurt.
Yeah. Let's see if we can catch the Goliaths that are actually heading back home. There's more Hydras coming down here.
Well, now Sok needs to regroup and he needs to push. Because this is not going to get better, it's only going to get worse. And there's no transition from
Yeah,
here.
there's no easy third base for Terran here. So, like, we're getting to the climax of this series here. And again, with the Hydras and the Mutas coming in here, I think this is just cleaned up here. I don't know that Sok can recover. I think he's microing these Goliaths pretty well so that the Mutas are taking hits, so the Hydras are still having to try to gain ground. And maybe that's a miscontrol there by Yoon, but now we have so many Hydras, I don't even think you need Mutas anymore, right?
Yeah, he'll probably stay off Mutas for the rest of the time and just make Hydras.
Yeah.
And now, like, Sok has another set of things he has to decide. So the Mutas aren't around to backstab him anymore, which means if he sits in a turtle spot, he probably won't die. And then it's like, well, do you go?
That's it.
Yeah.
GG.
All right, he's just going to give it up, and I think that that's probably the right thing.
Not today, Goliath thumbs.
Yoon got well ahead there. It was... I feel like Sok was a little bit indecisive with what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like, he kept on almost moving out, then not moving out. A big part of defending Mutas is pretending you're going to attack. Like, really selling it so that the Mutas have to turn around to defend. Because it's almost impossible to stop the Mutas from doing any damage to you.
I'm excited for this next game. It's going to be Yoon rematching Snow. Now, Snow smashed Yoon, but I think a lot of that nervous energy from Yoon is probably gone. He just played a great game against Sok. I don't think it was an exhausting game either. And now we get to see, can he overcome a player like Snow? I think Snow should win this. I don't know why Snow is saying he doesn't like Polypoint for Protoss.
I think he doesn't like it for this matchup. And let's not forget, this is a ladder map. So this is a map that Yoon plays a lot, obviously, right?
Yeah.
He's one of the top ladder players.
He's just like you and me.
Yeah, kind of, except way, way, way better. Yeah, this is going to be an exciting one. Unfortunate to see Sok go out. He's a very good player, but tonight he definitely was a bit outclassed.
For sure. Okay, guys, coming up next, Universe Snow. You do not want to miss it. It'll be our last game of the night. We'll be right back.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
성능을 언제 어디서나 가볍게 즐기다. 지포스 GTX 1650 그래픽 최신 인텔 10세대 프로세서 탑재. 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준 LG 울트라 기어.
상큼한 복숭아가 사이다를 더 청량하게 새로움을 마시다.
실성 사이다. 야, 우리 진짜 한 판만 더 이기면 돼.
야, 그럼 나 화장실 좀 갔다 올게.
야, 어디가?
금방 와.
자, 이 정도. 20여 명의 학생들이 컴퓨터 게임에 몰입하고 있는 또 다른 PC방. PC방의 전원을 꺼보겠습니다.
From the beginning.
고고! 핫식스!
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
거기 들어와. 그 밑에 걔 잡고. 나이스. 자, 씨. 됐어.
미안해 로우나. 화났어?
미안해. 내가 해줄게.
아 잠깐 내가 누르면 안 돼. 누르면 안 돼 지금. 자 교도한테 무슨 소리야?
좋은 시간 되세요.
From the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
Let myself be a slave for love, giving all I had till there's nothing left. Then I let you chip away at my pride. It's like you live to see the tears fall from my eyes. I'm foolish in mind to think you'll change, think that things will always be this way. That you will always tear me up or break me down. Oh, you're bringing me down, down, down. 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 Can't get you out of my mind. Drowning these bottles of rum. You fucked with my feelings and now I'm just feeling so numb. I can't get you out of my head. The times that you've been in my bed now. Leave me all alone with the lights off. Down, down,
Gotta play dead.
The lyrics said gotta play dead. Yes. Do not do that against Snow. You can play dead against Snow, but his ults will come up and kill you anyways.
Yeah. You play with the body.
Ugh. This is a shot of our new studio. I guess it's becoming less new with every broadcast, but we have not had an audience here yet. And we won't until things are back to normal with COVID.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? We haven't had an audience here at all.
Tosis and I, we have cordless headsets. We run around that studio while we cast with our arms out like we're airplanes.
That's why we're breathing heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Yoon against Snow, the rematch. You know, I think that Snow did bash him in that first game, but I think Polypoid should be a bit easier for Yoon, don't you think? It's a bit more standard of a map. It's a ladder map.
Yeah, I guess
It's
what
not
I'm
so
most
wide
excited.
open where it took his third.
I want to see what Snow opens with because he claims this is a map that he doesn't like. He said I think 20% odds to
20
win,
and 30%,
which is like, whoa, that's really bad. So what I want to see if he has a different take on it. Anyways, guys, the rematch is up. Last game of the day. Let's go.
Hear me crying for ya on my journey. Ready
폴리포이드에서 게임을 시작합니다.
Cross spawns.
Down the bottom left, we have Snow. And in the top right, we've got Yoon. Now, I like Yoon. He's really good. It's exciting to have such a strong up-and-coming Zerg. But if he beats Snow, I'm going to be so pissed. I want Snow to go far, man. I want to see.
If
I want to see Snow
here,
perform.
I'm gonna go up to Yoon after the show and be like, "How could you do that? You're selfish." He's like, "What? I'm a person with dreams. I want to win an ASL.
I practice really hard for this tasteless."
Who are you, caster guy? I'm like, I'm the person trying to save esports. So, this is a huge map. This is a map where we don't have a lot of maps this big.
Yeah, and let me actually say something about your description that this is a huge map, because I've actually seen some people typing about this some where they're like, oh, they call Polypoid a huge map, but it's the same size as Fighting Spirit, so how can that be?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, how do you define a map that's huge?
I mean, you have to look at how much surface area there is to move, and there's way more on this. There's a lot more narrow areas, and if you look at, for instance, on Fighting Spirit, the middle of the map is actually much smaller because it's divided off by these little rivers. And these
walls, but...
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, not just the walls in the middle, but I mean, you go to the outer side there. The location, because you have those lanes between the third base and the second base. Yeah, that's not on this map. So there's a lot more area to move around on.
Yeah, there is, and the more wide open center. I guess it's less about in its size, right? Because this is technically the same size of a map as Fighting Spirit, but there's kind of a feel that you get playing it.
Yeah.
And I don't think no one that actually plays a lot of StarCraft would disagree that Polypoid is like bigger than Fighting Spirit.
Yeah.
Like when you're playing it, you're kind of like, oh, okay, everything's a bit more wide open. It takes a longer time to get to a lot of these bases and stuff like that, right? It's like if your armies are in the center, there's actually a lot of places that you can outmaneuver and run around and.
Right, exactly.
Whereas in Fighting Spirit, it's like, oh, I walk around this wall, here we are.
Yeah.
You know?
And no, Fighting Spirit actually is a lot more boxy in that sense. And so in cross spawns here, kind of tough for either side to punish. I mean, you can have a Hydra bust, sure, but
probably wouldn't.
Wouldn't, right?
Okay, that drone looks like he wants to take 3 o'clock as his third base. Is this normal for the map?
It's fine. It's easier to just put hatches up there and not get overrun. The natural area, like you can take, not the natural, but the other third base location, the one that's on that hill. Yeah. I mean, you can take that too, but basically the other base is better. You get a gas there. It's hard to break. You're not really getting any kind of better position. PvZ is funny because like it's helpful to be close together, but Zerg bases can operate like these little outposts once you have enough defense there. Like stuff just won't really get in there once you get the sunks up and you have your positioning right. Now, that's pretty cute to see that Yoon sent those lings in here. This is
very impactful.
Yeah, because it's hard to get probes to mine from the natural. That cannon can't reach those lings. If you see how he does it like that? And stuff like this actually slows growth insanely.
Are you actually already making a Zealot when he comes in here, or do you start one when he comes in here?
I think you'd start one now. Now, this is why he's going to Hydra Bust. A lot of times, the Zealot will be moving out on the map to try to scout.
Oh.
And so now the Zealot comes back here.
There's a probe, though, that's going to see what's up.
Is there?
Yeah.
You say that, but I don't think he's going to let him come up. That's why whenever you leave the main with the probe, it's a pretty big decision because they can block it with lings and you can't get in there. So sometimes you want to float in the main a little bit longer to where it wouldn't make sense for the den to be any later. And then you go down and be like, okay, so what's going on here?
Sure.
So where's the Protoss at right now? A little bit slowed down for sure. Again, this is very well disguised. Can't really tell. You know, we were saying earlier, probably wouldn't Hydra Rush, but he slowed him down a little bit. The second Zealot will come out on the map, and this is where you're looking for any intel at all, because they'll try to get it with Lings. You're looking for Ling speed as well. Anything you can find is good. So Protoss is mining from the second gas. The Corsair has not started yet.
Okay.
So,
is he gonna start popping Hydras?
Oh yeah. Oh, Artosis.
You innocent
yeah,
boy.
you were adorable. No, he's. I even love the drone there. See, he's just got it hidden enough. If he can kill this Zealot before, because there might not even be Hydras hatching here. I don't know for sure. It looks like it's the 973 setup.
Yeah.
Okay, now did he see that?
No.
He did not. No. So this is, oh God.
That's
players.
awesome, because you can actually move your larva to the left of a hatchery too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he did that.
So that was like just handled perfectly, and Snow might be out of ASL in a little bit here. We're gonna see. Oh, did he see that?
Are you kidding me?
Did he see that? I actually don't know.
Is the universe conspiring against Snow?
Yeah.
He adds a second cannon, but that's it. Okay.
So you're seeing
Hydra's
Hydra's
popping.
hatching.
Okay, now, oh, well, there's already going to be some here pretty quickly. He does have 3 Zealots at home.
You need a lot of cannons here.
Oh boy.
This is.
Oh boy. I'm not feeling good about Snow right now.
Yeah.
This
Not
doesn't
only
look
that,
good.
he does have a pylon in the back here, so that helps.
He's already got his probes pulled. He's already got his probes pulled.
He's coming forward. Cannon.
Does he? Oh my God!
this
He's
is
going after the cannon. Okay, he actually does get repelled for now. Buying some time.
He needs the 4th
Doesn't
cannon
he
to
need
finish.
more cannons?
I think so.
I feel like he
he
needs
also
more.
might get +1 attack denied here, and the Forge. Do we have more Hydras being made here? It looks like there's more coming across the map, but does he keep it up? There's actually Corsairs trying to find a stray Overlord to just get a kill off here, since he made 2 instead of 1. That could have been really bad. Okay, this is a great play here by Snow, because you want the supply block so badly. And
Yeah,
now
he
I
gets
don't
it.
think that he can get any more Hydras for a little bit here.
Well, he was adding hatcheries already, so maybe he was not going to.
I think you're probably right, actually.
Like maybe he was just going to bust the wall once this didn't work. So Snow actually, he stopped on 4 cannons. I guess that was an amazing call.
That was really clutch.
Because I'm looking at that. Oh wait, actually I think he canceled one. So
I would
maybe
be,
he
I'd be
figured
on my
out
11th
cancel.
cannon right now.
Yeah, no,
Not
I'd be
stopping.
building. There'd be cannons behind my Nexus in my name.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I'm gonna make him kill all my buildings because I hate him.
Yeah. By the way, +1 attack was not denied. Or did he cancel it?
I don't know.
Oh, look,
Canceled.
Shine reading my mind.
Shine doesn't observe this one.
Oh, well, I was just telling you that Shine reads my mind. Does that,
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, bro.
Can I just say things completely out of context?
Yeah, no,
You go
yeah,
there.
totally,
Thank you.
totally.
So the gate goes down. Robo has started here. And we're going to go into 5-hatch play.
Okay, who's ahead right here?
Zerg's a little bit ahead, I think.
A little bit.
But I will tell you that he got by with almost nothing. The
like as little
Protoss
as
did.
possible, right?
Like, he definitely got the correct read when the Hydra stopped. And a lot of times, Protoss is just way overmake cannons, and the Zerg's like, okay, I win anyways. So he's actually getting, what, 6 gates now?
And he's playing against 6 hatch.
Yeah, the fact that Snow was able to skirt the line here and just barely not have any cannons, and he gets the gateways up, he might have enough momentum to do a really good push. But missing +1 attack hurts, because you don't just obliterate Lings when Zealots touch them.
That's true. That's a good point.
Now,
if you don't have +1 attack, you don't have +1 armor.
So this is, wow, that's, is that
8 gates?
8 gates, yeah.
Forge spinning in the main. Maybe it's not that far away then.
But after you get the attack, you get the armor. You want to have 1-1 pretty quick here.
Yeah.
So, and it does make a difference when the Zealots are fighting the Hydras.
Oh, it definitely does, yeah.
Like, the Hydras are much better than their Zealots if you don't have +1 attack. And you can kind of see that by these Hydras not just exploding when the Zealots hit them.
Yeah, normally every Zealot attack is basically a Scarab.
Yeah.
Without that +2, though.
So I thought this might happen.
16 plus 2 equals 100.
He's going to put some pressure on over here, and he's going to sneak a DT into the main. And this is a great tactic.
That's how he got him last time. Yeah.
There's so much micromanagement required when you're using Zealot Corsair.
That's a quick shuttle. Normally you don't see a shuttle this time.
Yeah. It was a very smart move. Well, he just like didn't produce anything and just stopped everything, made all of his gates.
Yeah.
And just with gateways and probes, got all the upgrades, and now he's got this insane macro machine.
You'd be on 8 cannons and 4 gates. He's
no,
on
I'd
4 cannons
probably
and
be
8
on my
gates.
17th cannon right now, just still going. I'm like, we don't know what's out there. There's no way to know.
It's scary.
The world is a dark and scary place.
He drops off a DT into the main base. Oh, Yoon spots it immediately. Muta's popping out. So the DT actually scouts the Mutas, which is, I mean, that's pretty reasonable that he scouts the Mutas here, right?
Oh, that's
It's
great.
important to know that there's Mutas.
Now, I don't know if he had +1 on his Corsairs here.
I doubt it.
I don't know if he's going to get a Dark Archon and go for Maelstrom, but that is, I think, one of the best plays when you see the Mutas come out like this to catch him.
Okay. I've always been a fan of Maelstrom on Mutas.
I think it's, I mean, we're seeing it more and more, but it just becomes a spell that's so good. And I love that he's going to send these Zealots into the shuttle because the Mutas are now out on the map. Just go in there, see if you can't kill any workers.
He's got a storm ready for these Mutas as they fly in. Oh, a quick dodge out of the storm. Really nicely done.
Okay, not bad. Not kind of almost hitting his workers here.
Yeah, it hit him in a little bit.
Dragoon's coming up now.
Adding a bit more damage on there. Ooh, loses a Corsair though.
Oh my God, Snow's multitasking today is just a little bit lackluster.
All right, gonna send these Zealots into the main base though. And the drones can see these, but they can't fight them.
And this actually didn't do that much. I think the idea is still good, but so far it's like really just good handling here by.
Yeah, Yuna's playing a much cleaner, nicer game here.
And remember, the objective of the Mutas is to kill Templars or at least bait out Storms, and then the Hydras can win the fight.
Muta's still flying around, going after those High Templars, and he picks off 2.
I just don't know if Snow's going to survive this. This is really bad, man. Ewan things are going off without a hitch here for Ewan.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't mean Protoss is dead, but like
it feels pretty
Templars
bad
are
for
like
him.
kind of everything in this matchup, especially in the mid game. Most of this game is trying to figure out how to get Templars out without dying and still having an economy. And to have the Mutas snipe them like this is pretty bad. So I think Snow's going to stay back and take his 3rd base, which makes sense. He's also going to keep on with this drop. I'm kind of surprised the shuttle hasn't been spotted yet. But it's great for Snow because he can keep sending Zealots in like this. And this is a pretty big interruption back at home. I mean, it takes one Hydra a long time to kill. But you can see the difference between not having a lead in attack upgrades. You're kind of hurting for most of the game. Oh, wow.
They have picked off so many High Templars now.
And it was worth it to lose all those Mutas, to just kill those Templars.
Well, from here, I mean, Snow has to sit defensively, right? There's no way to do anything.
No, there's nothing you can do.
You just have to sit back here and try to utilize your high ground, I guess.
Yeah, now he has gotten the energy upgrade here on those Hydras here.
Oh no, the Mutas are back.
Okay, they're cleaned up pretty easily.
Yeah, they don't actually get any more.
Ewan's looking for a fight here. Now the Storms that have landed are pretty good.
Yeah, he does have this high ground. It does make it really hard for the Hydras.
It's high ground on both sides. This is very hard to control. I love that he kept the other 2 Zealots in there just in case, because he knows that Zerg's going to try to really lean into this. Now this is like a real subtle pro move here to just get the Zealots to come in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a game changer there. He is actually massacring some of these drones, causing lost mining time. Units going home. Everything's going home.
Yeah, this is a masterful defense here by Snow. I mean, this is so good.
My God, Yoon doing his best impression of ET here.
He absolutely, I think any other player in the world throws down all 3 Zealots and just leaves it and attacks, and he actually only sent in 1 and then saved the other 2, thinking, all right, these might come in handy later. 1 Zealot's probably not going to do that much more than 3 anyways. So let me wait until I see the attack coming. I'll throw these other 2 in there, and it forced the whole army back. And now look at this. Snow is just barreling across the map, and he is eyeing the fourth base here, while setting up another drop as well. Oh,
well, that one didn't do as well.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, this is Hydra Muta, so they don't have lurkers out here. I actually think that Snow can probably win this fight if he can keep his Templars efficient here.
Okay, he lost 2 of them already, but does get some storms off. Some pretty good storms going down. He does have another one, throws it down. Good dodge from Yoon.
Yeah, he needs to have these Zealots merge up with the Dragoons, and I think this was a good call here. He decides to back up.
I think that is a fantastic move. That is a great move. That is a great move to pull back exactly then.
Yeah, he looks at that and says, I'm not quite...
There's no point to fight anymore.
Yeah.
He got the hatchery. He's out of High Templars.
Yeah.
Get out of there. Go home, reinforce. Amazing.
And if Snow can keep doing this dance, I mean, Zerg's on 3 base, Protoss is on 3 base, and Protoss is actually taking a 4th now.
Oh, this is beautiful from Snow to get this up. He does need that 3rd gas. It is so, so important. He's very low on High Templars overall. He's getting cannons up there, really nice, but he's starting to run out here.
You got to be careful here with Protoss. Sometimes you have your whole army together, but Snow does not. He's got everything grouped up really nicely.
Very good split, so important.
You know, it seems like Yoon was on the cusp of winning this game, and Snow is just...
He's fought himself right back into it, man.
Yeah, he just stayed very patient and knew that
I think that the Zealot drop was magnificent. That plus the defense at the same time on the high ground, those two things together.
Damn.
Oh, man.
So this is where you're seeing the multitasking of Snow lap that of Yoon.
Well, and now Snow, I mean, he's going to be on 4 bases. Yoon is retaking his 4th.
Yeah. And I again, it's going to come down to control, but even though there's so many Hydras out now still, things are looking good for Snow here. He's both continued to grow. Oh, this is so good. Look at this. Again, every kill he gets. All right, Mutas are going to come in again.
Yeah, another group of them.
Storming some of his own units here. These are storms that would probably be better served on the Hydras, but right now the army is just so big here for Snow.
Yeah, he is starting to run away, though. Doesn't really want to take that full fight. Nice storm onto those Hydras. He's going to run to the high ground. I think, again, a very good move from Snow. I think he's just moving his army so well.
Yeah, well, even though it looks like he maybe could have an even exchange, he just backs up because he knows more Templars, more Dragoons. The combination of these units is going to be too strong. And I actually think this is the beginnings of the end here.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to see a push across the map from Snow, and I don't think you can stop it.
No, it's not looking super hot. Like, he keeps remaking the Mutas to snipe High Templars, but then Snow pulls back and gets more High Templars, and we don't see any lurkers or anything like that to keep him alive this game. Feels like Snow is he's in command.
Okay, some storms coming down here. Protoss still pushing. And yeah, I mean, we're just seeing really calculated play here from Snow. This really shows you how to play a game where you're basically behind and things are looking hopeless. GG! Wow, Snow wins there. Despite
beautifully done.
Yeah.
He's showing his just absolute class that game. Damn.
What a beast.
Yeah. Well, the 2 players that you would predict get through, Sulky and Snow, advance into the next round.
And these are both going to be great additions going into the round of 16. I feel for Yoon because he really kept it together there, but you could see how many things were going on there. And, you know, when we saw those Templars get sniped, I thought, oh, this is over. This kid is toast. But just when it seemed like Yoon would have an opportunity to get a push off here and smash the 3rd, it was the pocketed 2 Zealots dropped off. He had a shuttle with 3 Zealots initially. He used 1 to hit, and he kept the other 2 in there because he knew if the Zerg sends everything there to attack, those 2 Zealots can cause such disruption that he lost the timing attack. And everything went back. He bought enough time. He remade the Templars. He had plenty of Dragoons and Zealots already. And then he went for the push.
ASL 시즌 10 24강 B조 경기 모두 함께 하셨습니다. 오늘의 두 번째 16강
From Group B.
장윤철 선수 만나보겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
Congratulations, Snow. Thank you.
팀리그에서부터 이어져오던 장윤철 선수의 기세는 꺾이지 않았습니다. 오늘 좀 우여곡절 끝에 두 번째로 16강 진출하신
Incredible. You've kept this momentum rolling. You're here in the ASL, going on to the round of 16. How do you feel? So honestly,
질때 약간 좌절감이 느껴지더라고요.
I thought that no matter what, I had to win 2-0.
마지막에
So when I lost in the winner's match, I thought, oh, this is devastating.
오늘은 그래도
After that, I thought I suck.
따라주는구나라고 싶었어요.
그래서 워낙 마지막 경기에서도
Oh, but after that, I thought, okay, maybe there's still luck on my side.
장윤철 선수와의 승자전이 더 좀 아쉽게 기억이 남지 않을까 하는 생각이 들어요. 초반에 상황이 굉장히 좋았는데 앞마당 포지가 깨지면서
I think you're probably pretty disappointed from that match against Sulky.
제가 게임
You were doing well,
큰 실수들이 좀 많았어요.
but it seems like you lost control of that game in the later part.
피해고
Tell us about that.
쌓여가지고 나중에 가는 게임이 져 있더라고요.
Yeah, he chipped away at me over time.
이길 수 있었는데
The damage started to mount over time.
김민철 선수가 굉장히 촘촘하게 좀
I still think I had a chance, but
불구하고 장윤철 선수가
after time, it was just a very frustrating game. I wasn't able to do anything.
보였거든요.
전
네.
제가 이긴 줄 알았어요. 제가 이긴 줄 알고 살짝 자만을
So you keep trying to keep producing high Templars in that game.
자만을 해가지고
Yeah, I thought I had the upper hand in most of that game.
최종전에서는
And I guess that made me overconfident.
공격을 안 갔어요.
And then after I noticed that, I realized
최종전에서 사실 윤진규 선수가 예상보다는 조금 빠른 타이밍에
I realized I shouldn't be attacking so much in that game. I need to stay back a little bit more.
네, 그냥 제 머릿속에 다 생각돼 있었었고.
네.
Let's talk about the Yoon game.
상대가 아마추어
Did you expect that timing attack early on? Yeah, he's very good at control. But look, he's still an amateur player, to be honest. I'm still confident in pretty much any situation. I just tried to play a very safe game in the last game, and I think it worked out. I think that match against Sulky forced you to really collect your thoughts. Yes, I would agree with that. The Deciders match was do or die for me.
견제로 브레이크 걸어주면서 승리했던 모습은 역시 장윤철 선수의 노련함 이번 시즌에도 기대해봐도 좋겠구나라는 생각을 팬분들이 하셨을 것 같거든요.
네, 이번 시즌
I could feel that veteran play from the final match.
제가 물론 뭐 승률이 60% 70% 되는 건 아니지만 그래도 누구랑 해도 다 이길 수 있다고 생각을 해요.
Yeah, my win rate is not like 60%.
좀 실력이 괜찮다고 생각하기 때문에.
I'm sorry, I think he said his win rate in that match was 60% or 70%. But he's still not that confident in that matchup.
장윤철 선수의 경기는 워낙 명경기들이 많이 만들어지기
He was worried he wouldn't have the same opportunities in the future.
어떤 명경기들을
So he really had to focus in hard on that game.
굉장히 많은데요. 팬들에게도 한 말씀 부탁드립니다.
Well, you're a player who always shows great matches. Any words to your fans? Yeah, guys, I'm relieved I made it. I'm going to do my best. Keep cheering for me and watch my games. Well, congratulations again, Snow. He says thanks. And I say, what a great day. We did it both at GSL and an ASL.
It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
And those were some good games tonight, I think. You see that Sulky and Snow advance, as it pretty much should be. Yoon put up good results. I mean, he took out Sok, who's a pretty seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he pushed Snow pretty hard in that game, too. That last game.
It was good.
Yeah. I think he definitely has a very bright future. He's definitely one of the futures of Zerg.
Sok and Yoon, both great players, but I'm hyped. Sulky and Snow advance. And
yeah, it's kind of who you want to go in the next round.
Yeah, I mean,
the tournament as good as possible.
If it's going to be the dream tournament, these are the players that move on. So we're going to be back tomorrow. Yeah. Same time, same place, same channel. We have Shuttle versus Barracks and Best versus Saxery.
That is a great group and a very hard one to predict.
I have no clue. Maybe Shuttle gets out.
Shuttle's in good shape right now. I think he's playing great. I've seen a lot of his games recently.
Maybe Shuttle Best. I don't know. Saxery's very good.
I'm leaning Shuttle Best, but yeah, Saxery is a very strong Zerg. And Barracks, he can throw a wrench into things. He's got some very good builds.
There's a lot that can happen in a best of one.
Yeah.
So we'll be back tomorrow, again, Sunday, 7 p.m. KST. And then the day after that, we'll be streaming on our Twitch channels. Let's do it. And then ASL again on Tuesday.
We're everywhere. Just
and then
Brood War,
GSL
Brood War,
on
Brood War.
Wednesday.
Oh my God! And then Thursday, well, woo! Pylon show. There you go.
Pylon show.
Easy.
I'll stream.
There we go. It was a cool day. I'm so glad that Snow did make it through because he is kind of my pick to win, and the best of ones are probably the best way to get rid of him. Ever since we don't have the players that dominate him like Flash and Rain.
This is the tournament that Flash will be debuting as random. We have a few more days before we'll actually be seeing him. He was seeded into the later part of the tournament.
Yeah. So not ready to show that off quite yet, but soon enough. I think that is what everyone's waiting for. It'll be fun to see in the group selection how that goes down with him playing random. Like
I'm very curious. Flash did not win our last ASL, which was another surprise.
Yeah, that's
so.
true.
Yeah, let's see if he can win with random. I don't think he's going to win this season, but maybe he just gets Terran every time. You think he's going to win?
I think he's got as high a chance as he's got a higher chance than many players.
Oh, I agree with that.
Not everyone.
I just wonder.
I think Snow's going to win. I've already said. I think Snow is going to take this season. I think he is the
a
safest bet. Yeah. I think he's basically the strongest overall right now.
I agree with that.
Oh, to be fair, let's not forget Queen is still around, right?
Sure.
He's pretty damn good too.
We got to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
ASL 시즌 10 타임리스.
There's a lot